based on real data from your own body. And you know what? That's science you can trust. Go to Viome.com now and use promo code THRIVE to save $50 on your full body intelligence test. That's Viome.com, promo code THRIVE to save $50.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know. Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-616-1997. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-616-1997. That's 800-616-1997. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Insurance companies often play tough, offering you the bare minimum for your injuries. But why settle for less? With me, Mo DeWitt, your Orlando injury attorney, you pay nothing unless we win. Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Injured on the go, just call Mo.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G. And even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid at store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
Do you know Mahatma rice? A staple in our kitchens for generations. It's now easier than ever with delicious recipes like cilantro and lime and all the homemade taste we love. It's ready in only 90 seconds. Perfect at home, at work, or on the go. Mahatma rice feels like home.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand. Just go to rchill.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Let's go.
Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The news News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Friday, September 19th, 2025. Lots to get to today, from new Jimmy Kimmel drama to Rajah Jackson arrested for that violent wrestling attack and a mystery roller coaster death at Epic Universe, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Howdy doody.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right to the studio in real time. And this never, ever, ever happens, friends.
God, what happened?
Oh, my God. Let me just dust it off here and make sure. A little bit of grime on it this morning. This is a last-minute message, indeed.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It is. You know, it's from The Last Man Standing. It's Jimmy Fallon. Let's see what he's saying.
Have a great Friday, you motherfucker.
We did it, everybody. That's right. We made it through a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday has arrived. Pat yourself on the back. I can't believe we made it together. What a wild week it's been.
Not everybody made it, you know?
No.
Not everybody.
Too soon. What a thing to point out, C-Len. I mean, you know, you could say that every week, technically. But, yeah, we all did. We all made it to the finish line.
Alive.
I don't know what you mean anymore. I don't know.
It's okay, and you don't need to know what it means. Just complain and see what happens after.
All I know is I can watch him getting radicalized over there. I can see it in real time. And now it seems like he's cheering on people's deaths.
Because he has 2 buttons undone on his shirt?
That is a wild move. I will agree. There's a little Hawaii 5-0 action going on.
You think
in
there's too much button?
There's a little bit.
Wait,
that's
too high.
Platonically, I think
this
the
is
chest
way
hair
too
is
high.
good.
This is,
You know, here's one thing I noticed about you. You don't have that much chest hair.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you got it's sad. You got like a couple curly cues.
Okay,
you don't have
how
like
much chest hair do you have, big guy?
way more than him. Not a lot, but
I
way
think
more
I
than
have
him.
more than both of you combined.
Let's not play this game. Let's not.
So gross.
Well, it's Friday, but we can't go that far off into the wilderness just yet.
I'm not going to demand any Bridget Macron-style scientific photographic evidence in this case.
Show me your penis. I could tell you this. Jimmy Fallon, last man standing, hanging on tight over there for right now.
So many giggles.
Doing his thing. But the host that is so entertaining in the most monstrous way to me right now, C-Lane pointed out yesterday, Keith Olbermann, the dude, that like mega angry guy.
He doesn't have a job. There's no way he has a job right now, right?
No, he's not employable. He's a lunatic.
Because the things that he was tweeting, which was like half of the tweet, I was like, all right. And the other half was like, oh.
Yeah. Everybody else is going like, you know, I don't support Charlie Kirk's message, but I really feel for his family right now. And this is we need to get better than this. And then he's like, burn in hell. Like, whoa, dude, you absolute. The final boss of assholes has entered the arena.
He had a bunch of tweets. I think it was yesterday or the night before when they announced that they were pulling Kimmel's show indefinitely. And he was tweeting about that. And of course, as a broadcaster, or in his case, former broadcaster,
one-time broadcaster,
question mark for the future. He said, he posted a link to one of the stories or something and said, burn in hell, Sinclair. And I was like, oh, all right. That's, I mean,
they're about to be 80% of the market, my guy.
Everybody else is like, we need to tone down the rhetoric. Obviously, this is unhinged. He's like, die in hell, demons.
God's hath of fury on your ass.
I go, all right. The guy's a passionate guy about broadcasting, and he's, backing Jimmy Kimmel here and says,
he's a nut job.
He says, hold on. He says, burn in hell, Sinclair. And I go, oh, okay. And then he hit enter a couple times and put, alongside Charlie Kirk. And I go, whoa, what are you doing,
you had
dude?
To scroll down, click see more. Does he
He's like that one family member where you just, you don't want to bring up politics because they can't go half speed on it. Everything's got to be like,
super familiar with that.
Damn, bro, chill. Do you have any chill in you?
The guy who left the most comments on my Facebook post
was Keith Olbermann.
He's that family member.
I would like if Keith Olbermann got a small obsession with you, C-Lane, and just was commenting on all of your social media posts moving forward.
Does Keith Olbermann do commercials as well? Because I would love to see that energy and then stop right in the middle and be like, this is brought to you by Depends.
Starbucks. Get yourself a nice warm frappe, or this time of year. What's the the orange pumpkin spice?
I want it to be really steeped in irony. He's like, everybody burn in hell. This podcast is brought to you by Better Health. BetterHealth.com.
He's a lunatic. He's crazy, this guy.
Man.
A lot of them out there. All right, let's see. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to Thursday Night Football last night, baby. Oh, boy. I was watching. Sabrina had said something about the Dolphins at one point, so I was all right.
It's a big rivalry, is the Dolphins and the Bills.
I'm closer to the Dolphins than I am the Bills. Sorry, New York. Sorry, apologize. But I'll support the Dolphins, and I watched a little bit of it. I didn't see this part in particular, but somebody clipped it this morning. There was an awkward moment where the football game went to commercial, and they go to commercial doing all, the commercial break stuff. And when they come back, no intro, no nothing. They just go to the sidelines with Tyreek Hill, and they start talking about charges against him. Yeah. Look, here's how it went down. All right.
Weird. Have they ever done that in the past?
I don't know if they've done this before. Sports fans could tell me. But the thing that was weird to me was they didn't have Al Michaels or somebody go, and now over for a sideline report about one of the star players. Let's go to this person. They just came back cold from the commercial break, and this Tyreek Hill beats his wife, allegedly.
Neither is anyone else. I mean,
Guys,
there's no
the
stranger
NFL.
to off-the-field stuff.
Well, it's the NFL. You can literally just go down the line and keep doing that.
I'm a stranger to on-the-field stuff.
The best way to handle this moving forward, NFL, is to, when you do the player introductions and you're like, Markeith Johnson from Miami, Florida, and you tell their college and stuff, then just put the charges against them. Put
right
those
in between, though, and then end it off with last season, this many yards of touchdowns or something.
The NFL is full of criminals, okay? There's tons of criminals in the NFL. If you're going to do one, do all of them. There's a whole bunch of them. Well, active players I don't know much about, but trust me, there's a lot of abusers.
We talked about Michael Vick yesterday.
Well, yeah, he's too old. See, guys, I was going to say Ray
Rice.
No, not Ray Rice. Him too, though. Him too.
What did he have though? Was it something? Because I remember
he beat somebody.
Right, and so
I don't want to talk about that because I don't know anything that's going on with it.
I'm going to look it up, but if that is the case, his commercials are a little tongue-in-cheek, huh?
It was somebody saying National Felon League, NFL. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of accusations, crimes, those kind of things, like BDMXCon says on Twitch. There's a lot of those kind of. If you did one, just go around, tell us about all the creepers and all the abusers and everybody else on that football field. It's a little weird.
So, according to Wikipedia, Ray Rice became embroiled in controversy during the 2014 offseason when a video surfaced of him physically attacking his fiancée. So, when they say that he loves a good hit.
That's what they mean. Was
that the one in the elevator?
Yeah, it may have been. That's what came to mind. But again, I don't want to weigh in on this because I have no idea.
That game last night, I tried to watch it, and I was like, why is this not on ESPN? Why is it? Why? And I was like, what? They always show Monday Night Football. I totally forgot it was Thursday last night. In the moment, totally forgot.
Baby.
It's because I almost did the last-minute message yesterday at the beginning of the show.
You screwed everybody up. No, and then I was looking at my fantasy app, and just in tiny little letters, it said Prime Video, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch. That's where the Thursday Night Football is.
But go ahead. Sorry.
At the end of it, it was weird because I like when they get into this mode where the commentators have stuck a fork in this game, it's over. So Boring. They just start going, where are you off to next? You got big... big college games this weekend. And
You know what it sounds like? That sounds like the last segment of our Friday shows, where we're out of gas.
And the funny part was the Dolphins had no chance of coming back from this. There was
How dare you?
There was 22 seconds left in the game, and they were down by 10. Nothing was happening there. But they just kept playing. They didn't do the take a knee thing that a lot of teams do. They just kept running the ball while
no flea flicker.
While the commentators were going over which college games they'd be attending and working over the weekend. And I was like, flying into Miami, in the morning. Just gonna head down there, like where the Dolphins are from.
Fins up.
They're talking about Ray Lewis over on chat as well. They're also saying why are so many NFL players criminals? I don't because they're hyped
of
up.
All of the NFL players, it's not the majority of them are criminals.
I think there's. I'm going to hesitate on this a little bit, but I would not be surprised if there's an outside representation of people with accusations or criminal records on the football field. All right, I would not be surprised if that's the case. I've heard lots about like the rate of spousal abuse among NFL players. You fill in the void there. If I'm wrong, fans of football and all things sport, please set me straight. tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
They get smacked in the head a lot.
It happens. CTE. The CTE does it. Just makes you start beating people after a while. All right, we got a lot of things to talk about today. We'll get into all the reactions on the Jimmy Kimmel front and like some new twists and turns in that story at some point in time. But I wanted to talk about something else to kick us off. There's been a lot of chatter, and it's sort of like hush-hush, about a death at one of the theme parks. And it's kind of interesting to me. This is a beautiful theme park, by the way. Fully recommend, minus this experience, Epic Universe. It's a fun time, really, really amazing thing that they built. But there's a roller coaster there, and it's called Stardust Racers. And I think
it's
C-Lane went on it.
Did you guys go on it? I went on it. It was.
You did?
It's a wild ride.
Okay, Sabrina and C-Lane have been on it. I didn't go on it, but I'm familiar with it. It's two roller coasters next to each other, and the idea is you get on one or the other, and they sort of race each other through the roller coaster ride. And some guy died on the ride. And immediately after, you're like, okay, well, it's a big theme park full of people every day. The idea that somebody at the theme parks is going to die every week or every month or so is not crazy to me, just based on the raw number of human beings that are going to be there. But then the info came out about how this person died. And at first I was a little confused about that too. And I'm young. What's happening here? Well, he was, right?
32 maybe?
32-year-old guy
32.
on a roller coaster. You would think, well, what's the problem here? But some of the information that I'm now getting makes this even more interesting. So I do want to talk about this. I want to talk about what's going down with that. We'll get into the Kimmel stuff. We'll get into you, whatever you have on your mind, whatever you want to hear talked about on the show. You could send in an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or a dispatch. Record yours now on thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break. We're back with what happened at Epic Universe, what actually happened on this ride, and some of the drama behind this, and then on to your responses on a very busy Friday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash affecting eastbound and westbound lanes on Colonial.
Hey! Happy Friday, friend. Welcome in behind the scenes.
Oil change traffic tip line at 866-676-6477.
This is where during commercial breaks we talk. Skull mic is activated, cameraman is not. Hold! Cameraman awake. Hey, everybody. Hey, Kevin. He says he's a junkie for the crazier ones, talking about roller coasters, I assume. Jeez. I think I might need one more nasal spray, folks. Oh, hi, I can't listen, says Bootsy. Well, what the hell? What are we doing? Morning, Tanya. No light yet? No, I didn't within 24 hours install and manage and set up a light for the break broadcast. No, not yet. They say it was blunt force trauma that killed the roller coaster guy. We're going to get into what was going on there, but first, I need a spray. Courtney, are you there? Can you bring me the nasal spray thing? the good one, the Flonase. I'm choking over here. Just need a good huff. Just one good rip. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Thank you. Bless your soul. What are you blowing away? Oh, you can't get to the doorknob. See you later. Got it. Got it. Good. You left the door open. Born in a whorehouse? Okay, folks. When we come back, we're going to talk about this Epic Universe incident, I guess we should say, and what I think happened here. It hasn't really come out yet, but what I think happened, I'll put on the line, which I have growing confidence in. I mean, what a way to go, though, huh? I know people say that, but literally, legitimately, what a way to go. Folks, a brand new Secret Show is dropping today, as always, on Fridays. Secret Shows drop at 5 p.m. A new one. It was a fun show. Talk about some buzz for the upcoming roast. We talk about some stuff behind the scenes that's been happening. And overall, it was a fun, insane ride. We even tried a brand new product that should never, ever have been released. But it was fun. Check it out. Subscribe to Secret Show's fully uncensored weekly podcast, available for you at thenewsjunkie.com. Doing what you enjoy is always a great way to go. Will there be security at the roast to check for trans? Maybe. Three minutes and we're coming back on the show. How are you doing today? Are we sure that is Flonase? Well, what do you think it is? You think never mind. Yes, of course it's Flonase. I've seen someone do a gray out thing on the roller coaster. What I tend to see, and I don't know if this is commentary on my algorithm or not, but what I tend to see is the videos of large-breasted women on the slingshot ride, where it's like passed out, whoa, I'm back awake, and then are their boobs gonna pop out of their top, which is probably 95% fake, done as a way to like promote OnlyFans or something. PSA, if you didn't listen to the Secret Show Wednesday, listen tonight. It was a good one. Thank you, Cat Butthole. It was a fun time. Very little drizzling. Light on the drizzle. Oh, I love those videos. I don't want them. I don't want them anymore. I do a new thing now where if there's something I don't want to see anymore in my feed, I swipe even faster than a normal swipe. Like, okay, I see what's happening here. I see what's happening. You saw that my attention went to that for a little too long, and now you're giving me 10,000 more of those. I'll fling them. 90 seconds and we're coming back. Allergies bad today. The OBGYN prescribed me Flonase. I have to ask you some questions next break. 1 minute. All right, let's talk about this. What do we think happened? How does a man in his 30s die on a roller coaster? How does that happen? Is the theme park to blame? What is going on in this story? We're going to get down to the bottom of it now. Let's go.
From real doctors with real great results. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com, or just dial pound 250 on your phone and say the keyword Red Mountain. It's Red Mountain Weight Loss.
The NFL is off to a wild start.
Touchdown pass number 508 for Aaron Rodgers.
And the new season lives on iHeartRadio.
Touchdown Denver.
Local stations bring you the action live.
Touchdown Chargers.
Plus, fantasy advice and expert analysis with the official NFL Podcast Network.
Everything you love about football is on the iHeartRadio app.
That's a jet touchdown.
Just search NFL to dive in.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
3 best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture. This
Stories of the day. As always, thanks for being with us. You can newsjunkie.com.
You're being silenced by the people.
Am I with you or no? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Well, here we are, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us on the show today.
Sean AI, I just want to be very clear.
Guys, I have no idea what's going on, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You just cut out for 2 seconds. It's fine.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. I want to talk about this story that happened at Epic Universe. And the reason why is because there's a lot of people running wild with the speculation on this. And I had a couple of theories, but I was thrown off by some of the reports. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock or something, Epic Universe is a theme park, and it's run by Universal. Big, beautiful new theme park. It's crazy. Billions of dollars they spent on this thing. And one of the
already talking about upgrades, too.
Ooh.
I know, which is, like, do they rest at these places? Do they ever go, like, I guess Disney's whole thing was we're never done. It's always a work in progress, and that seems to be the case for all of these theme parks. But both Sabrina and C-Lane went on this ride at Epic Universe called Stardust Racers, which I have heard from people, and I'm talking about people who are, what are the roller coaster fanatics? I don't know if there's a name for these people.
Aficionados.
Like coaster fans, you know? I've heard from people who are really, really into it, and they go, Stardust Racers is one of the best roller coasters you'll ever go on.
I cannot disagree with that.
It's fun. It's like a rip-roaring time.
Thrilling.
You're having a blast.
Very thrilling.
Just when you think it's done, you are in for another 30 high-intensity seconds.
Fast and all of that. I'm going to need both of you to jump in on my theory here. But we know that somebody died. And it was a 32-year-old guy who died on this roller coaster. So you're going, well, what the hell could be happening here? How does a 32-year-old guy die on a roller coaster? Many, many things can lead to this. But the thing that was a curveball was they came out with the cause of death for this person that died at Epic Universe on Stardust Racers. And it said he died from blunt force trauma. And when you hear that, your brain goes to a couple of places. You think, oh, did he like run into the ride? Did he, what happened to him? I even think they said somewhere, and I'll double check this, but I think they said one of his legs might have been broken.
What?
But
I haven't heard that.
I'll go back into the story. But the guy who was found unresponsive and then ended up dying after riding the roller coaster, I think what may have happened was I think he passed out and then was just getting whipped around by the roller coaster, and your body wasn't doing that natural thing that it does where you kind of hold yourself and hold your limbs firm. And
I don't know. The way
make
the
it so you don't hurt
seats
yourself.
are, if you were completely incapacitated,
Mhm.
I mean, you're still locked in a position of some sort.
Yeah.
If I remember it correctly. Now, I have heard something else that I am not at liberty to say right now, but that particular seat perhaps may be in question.
The seat?
The seat?
Like something that was not placed properly.
Okay, this is all alleged speculation. This things that people are hearing so far. So both of you having gone on this roller coaster, if you would have just like laid dead, like not moved your arms or your legs or anything, and just like completely relaxed your body, do you think you would have hurt yourself? Do you think blunt force trauma?
I don't think it's
that-
enough. I don't think it's enough hitting. And also, usually those things are pretty cushy. Those straps you got on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just when I think about it, I think they must have tried the roller coaster, considering that some people will probably pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like there's no way this is a surprise to them. It must be a thing that they're like, well, in the case that a passenger passes out, we must also make sure that they're safe in this.
It's something that's factored into the design, I think.
Yeah, I would hope so. But what else would have done it? Where would the blunt force trauma have come from? That's the big question. I think it might have just been whipping around as he's going on the ride.
So I just sent you a picture of the seats that I'm finding on Google Images.
Okay, hang on.
And considering, and I don't know, we don't know much about this person that passed, or are we getting more information? Like, were they a frail person, very tiny?
All we know right now is 32-year-old Kevin Zavala. I've reached out to his family because they have like a GoFundMe and all that stuff, just to see what their thoughts on this were. But here's the chair. It looks, I mean, like a relatively normal roller coaster chair.
That's with the bar up.
Yeah, and then the bar, obviously comes down over your waist and locks you into this. And it's got like it's coming around the sides of your back, so it like keeps you firmly into the chair on the roller coaster. Nothing about that looks too alarming to me in terms of somebody going around and getting hurt on this. But let's see. Hold on. Fox 35 had a story about this morning. Our friends over there. Let's see what they are suggesting may be happening here.
We continue to follow a developing story this hour. The Stardust Racers roller coaster at Epic Universe now closed after a man died after riding it. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Brown.
Good evening. I'm Louis. Our Skyfox drone flying over that empty coaster today. We know the 32-year-old man who died from multiple blunt impact injuries. That basically means that he died from the impact of his body repeatedly hitting an object.
Okay, so that sounds bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the multiple blunt force injuries sounds bad. And it makes you think that he like got smashed into a part of the ride, or when the tracks crisscross or something, he got hit by it.
When I heard just blunt force trauma, I thought, well, did somebody sneak something on the ride? Which is hard to do. You can't have stuff in your pockets. You go through metal detectors. Everything's got to be in lockers. Mm-hmm. That was one of the things where when I read into the story, when people were starting to panic about this guy being non-responsive, it was like nobody had cell phones on them to call the authorities, even though the Universal staff has a protocol for that. Calling 911 at a theme park is not very useful.
No, because it's probably hard for them to get in there, right?
Yeah. So they have like the staff,
medical staff.
Well, no, they have their own 911 that they call, and then if they need an ambulance, then somebody calls and is able to direct them, in a way that is more quick and goes through all
Based
the proper
on where
channels.
they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what I thought was like, did somebody sneak something in and it fell out of a pocket and smacked this dude in the right place in the forehead?
To kill him?
But
yeah, that's the thing. They said multiple blunt force trauma,
which rules out an errant object flying through the air, because that can't hit you more than once.
This ain't somebody's iPhone. This isn't somebody like bringing something on with them. And I seriously doubt this person was like so large that they hit another piece of the track with their head or something. That doesn't make sense either.
The last picture I just sent in the group chat is two guys that are like strapped up in the front row, right? So I'm looking at these seats as the bar is down. Mm-hmm. And if that person was completely lifeless, what object do you see that they would smack their heads against multiple times?
Let's say your body just
Unless
completely,
it's the back.
if your body completely draped forward
and then the ride went down, do you think that your head would smash backward, or can you not fall that far forward? You understand what I'm saying?
I don't
like. Imagine you're
and it
sitting
doesn't
in the
have
roller
like a
coaster.
full stop or something that all of a sudden you're moving fast and it stops enough for you to smack your head to the back of the seat.
Okay,
so I don't
that's
see
what I'm
anything
saying. Like,
else.
you're in a roller coaster, your body like falls over like this, and then you fling back, and your head hits the back of the thing. That's kind of the only way I could think about really doing that amount of damage.
But I mean, it's been a handful of months since I've been on this roller coaster. I don't remember a situation in which that would happen to you multiple times and in such a way that it would kill you.
Yeah, that's why it's confusing. But I mean, clearly that's what happened here. I'm guessing this person had some sort of medical emergency, and then from there, their body was flailing around. But they've kind of been tight-lipped about this, as you are in some of these cases. Hang on, let me go back to this video real quick, C-Lane, and see what else they say in the Fox 35 report, because that's where I was getting some of my details from this morning, and they're talking about how this guy was being thrown around.
Well, we have live team coverage tonight. We start with Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie. So, Hannah, you spoke with someone who actually witnessed this incident.
There we go. Witness time.
I sure did. He tells me he was one of the next people to get on that roller coaster. That is until ride attendants realized something was very, very wrong. Now, I also actually spoke with the victim's sister briefly over the phone. Tearfully, she told me her brother was here last night with his girlfriend for what was supposed to be a fun outing.
Brutal.
Our Skyfox drone showing Epic Universe's dueling roller coaster, Stardust Racers, at a standstill Thursday. And from the Skyfox chopper, people can be seen pacing around the empty coaster.
All right, you're making a little much of all the little movements that you're seeing at this thing, but they're flying over with drones and saying it's not in action. They're not moving around. They're pacing around behind the scenes.
Just hours ago, the Orange County Sheriff's Office confirming 32-year-old Kevin Rodriguez Zavala died Wednesday night after riding the roller coaster. Tommy Italiano was second in line, about to board it.
And out of nowhere, the attendant just starts screaming on the top of his lungs, "Everyone get out, get off of the coaster."
Italiano says he saw Rodriguez Zavala still strapped into the seat.
The person was completely slouched over the restraint, completely unresponsive. And I noticed a woman jump over the railing. And we later found out that she was a doctor and she went to administer emergency aid.
Damn. All right. So, I mean, the guy was slumped over. Maybe he rocked around too much, and then that's where they got him to. The quote from the medical examiner was multiple blunt impact injuries, but certainly an interesting thing that a lot of eyeballs are on right now. I'll tell you, from every other person that's gone on it, it seems like it's a really beautiful ride, and it's unfortunate that this happens to the theme park. I think this is inevitable. Most rides have stories like this, but especially when the place is newer, they push these out a bit more.
They've had, a lot of these things come from pre-existing conditions. I remember back in the day, there was this is super rare because they say, that the Disney lore is that you have to be taken off property before you're pronounced dead so that nobody dies on Disney property. But people die on Disney property. But there was a person who died on one of the Epcot rides that was not even a very thrilling ride. It was just, it was one of those sit in a seat and I forget what it was, but it was a softy ride. This stuff just happens.
Teacups,
and not even teacups. Not even something that you would be dizzy after.
Well, all the speculation that I see is he was probably standing up on the ride, somebody says in a dispatch.
Are you kidding?
It was you cannot stand up on these modern rides. I don't think you're able to actually do that if you wanted to.
No.
If you were trying to. But we'll take your thoughts on this incident. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, quick break. When we come back, got a bunch of your emails coming in. We'll get into in a bit here the latest drama on the Jimmy Kimmel front. We got to talk about this singer-songwriter guy and the terrible incident that he was involved in. There's a lot on deck, and it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Friday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we're actually going to be expecting a mostly dry day. We'll only see about a 10 to 20% chance of a very isolated shower or two. Otherwise, temperatures will be warming to near normal values with a high of around 90 degrees today in Orlando. We'll stay mostly dry as we head into our Saturday and Sunday as well. Only about a 20 and 30% chance of rain. Highs near the 90-degree mark. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Hello, everybody. Interesting. Some people have emailed about this. I guess in the GoFundMe for the guy who died on that ride, you can see he was in a wheelchair. He was in a wheelchair. So I don't know how that impacts the ride harness. I would imagine he gets onto like a different one. I don't know if that had an impact on what was happening, but
Solar Installers of Florida. They've been helping homeowners go solar for 17 years, and you might be surprised at how affordable it can be. They'll work on financing options with you. They're not going to try and upsell you a whole bunch. They'll combine that with the current tax credit.
Congress currently doing resolutions to, well, hold on, what was the official line on this? Charlie Kirk resolutions.
So if you're wondering if solar is worth it,
Resolution to honor Charlie Kirk's life, which has become a partisan thing. 58 Democrats have voted against this.
It's hurricane season in it. You were stuck without power last year.
AOC says the resolution brings great pain to millions of Americans.
This thing is awesome. You tell them you're friends with Russ Rollins.
He was in a wheelchair? Yes, apparently. Jesus, the allergy.
That's solarsource.com/monsters. 40 years in the business, over 60,000.
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair. On his GoFundMe, he is.
Solarsource.com/monsters. Get that battery backup system and save some money by telling them you know Russ at solarsource.com/monsters.
Charlie Kirk's birthday is the same day as George Floyd's. Let the right versus left commence. AOC seems to be cranking up for a national campaign. Good luck. I'm not sure she could win outside of Brooklyn or Park Slope.
Having a healthy heart is the foundation of wellness. Your heart powers every moment. So keep
Sean, do a nose spray shot for the skull mic? I did. I did I did a twofer to top me off.
Go to Light Imaging FLA. It's free. It's a heart scan. All you gotta do is pick up your cell phone, dial #250, say the words free heart.
Try some wasabi. That will clear you up.
It's a $699 value that is definitely.
It's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea because you do get that vibe. Hold on. When you get a little horseradish or something in you and it clears up the system, oh, I'm searching for that. Sean, will you wear a costume for the roast or just dressing fancy? We are finalizing details on like 5 different fronts, which we're going to talk about on Monday with a big to-do about the roast. And we'll get into exactly that issue. Hello? Hi. Where you going? Oh, okay. Be safe out there. Don't get adult napped. See you later. Bye. Just snort ants? It's a wild ride. What do you think, folks? It's time for you in chat to put down your guesses. I want to hold you to it and put you on the record. Jimmy Kimmel coming back, question mark. Yes or no? Jimmy Kimmel, will he be coming back, yes or no? It was kind of crazy to me today to read some more behind the scenes stuff that basically suggests Jimmy Kimmel, all they wanted him to do was say, hey, if I came across as suggesting
that Charlie Kirk's shooter was a right-wing person, a MAGA-inspired person. I apologize. That's not what my intention was, yada, yada. And Kimmel wanted to, like, double and triple down with a big rant. And Disney was like, we need to cool down the temperature on this. And ABC's like, yes, we need to cool down the temperature on this. And Kimmel refused to dial down that monologue he was working on. And that's what led to all the things that followed. So all he literally had to do is go out and be like, hey, if you took this in a way where I was saying the shooter was right wing, that's not what my intention was. And apparently he didn't want to do that.
Your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu.
No, you don't think he's coming back? No? Don't care?
Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
This is disgusting that Kirk gets something like this. He spread hate speech. Please. Now, you might say some of the stuff is over the top, but this whole fucking whining about hate speech thing is it's such a little baby bitch move. Stop it with, like, the opinions that I disagree with are hate speech, and that literally is one of the issues. It's like, that's literally some of the motivation of the shooter was some people's comments and opinions are beyond debate, right? That's literally the idea. Stop being a little bitch about people you disagree with. Don't label everything that you disagree with as hate. It's ridiculous. But on that point, I will say there are many things about this that are over the top.
So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt.
A bitch baby move is yanking a comedian off the air? Well, I mean, who did the yanking? Are you mad at ABC?
650-9944. That's 800-650-9944.
I don't disagree. I don't think the network should have done it, but he probably could have clarified. Oh, we're coming back.
800-650-9944. Again, that's 800-650-9944.
Need new blinds? At Blindster.com, we offer guaranteed low prices, guaranteed satisfaction, free samples, and free shipping. At Blindster, we take the fear out of ordering custom blinds, shades, and shutters so you can do it yourself and save big. Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is sponsored by Sunset Walk Best of Challenge. Tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com.
Real radio.
Where breaking news meets broken people. This is the News Junkie.
Welcome to the world's most viral newsroom. You can join us on the show by sending a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll get to some of your emails on the Jimmy Kimmel front in just a moment. There was a lot of talk about that, obviously, this week. For some people, I felt like they were more upset about this than the Charlie Kirk thing, which was pretty crazy to me. A lot of celebrities that didn't say anything about the Charlie Kirk attack were like, this is too far. We can't stand for this, about the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. And at the core of it, I just think it's dumb. I think what Jimmy Kimmel said was such a tiny infraction that no broadcast network should really suspend somebody for that. I'm in broadcasting. I don't want to see things go down that road. On the other hand, it looks like from some of the new reporting, it looks like Disney and ABC said to Kimmel, hey, we would like you to clarify this on your show the day after he said it. Mm-hmm. And he said he didn't want to clarify it. He wanted to, he was writing a monologue that doubled and tripled down, and that was really going after MAGA, and didn't want to say hey, if you heard this as me suggesting the shooter was right wing, that's not what my intention was. And I think Disney and ABC's messaging and a lot of the stories I saw was literally we want to cool things down. We want to hit the brakes and cool things down. And I guess Jimmy Kimmel did not want to do that. And so
I thought we heard that he was planning.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that anywhere. Where did you hear that he was turning on?
You had said that he was going to clarify what he said.
No,
you read it on Rolling Stone.
I said that they asked him to clarify what he said. If I said that yesterday, then that's not correct, but I don't think I worded it that way. I said that they asked him to correct it, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to say that his words were being taken out of context. That's what that story said, I believe. Pull it up on me if you want to.
But taken out of context versus doubling and tripling down is a little confusing. So he was going to explain why it was out of context, but he was also going to reiterate that the shooter was MAGA.
No. Let me rewind if this is not making any sense and try to be clear on this. The executives at ABC and Disney, after Jimmy Kimmel's comments, which were, just in case you're not initiated, the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid. I don't know why I said kid. He's 22 years old, but characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it, right? And then ABC and Disney saw the backlash, saw people responding to this. They were asking Jimmy Kimmel, management was, hey, we would like you to clarify your comments. We would like you to go out in your monologue and address this issue and clarify the comments and bring the temperature down. And apparently, not only did Jimmy Kimmel not want to do that, but he wanted to double and triple down. And he was writing a monologue that was going after what they said in the Variety, I think, article that I looked at about this, was going after MAGA. I don't know what that means generally. We didn't ever get to hear that monologue, but the reason they said they pulled the plug was because he did not want to back off of this in any way. And they thought that it was going to be bad. Now, you can talk about a million other reasons why and all the other pieces of machinery around this, but that's what some of these insider articles are saying about all of this. Now, again, if you're getting triggered by half of the things I'm saying here, understand that I think it was like such a stupid one-off
nothing
line.
burger.
Yeah, he said way worse than this. He's done way worse than this. He's had way worse things in his history. If you're going to throw the cancel mobs after somebody, this was like tiddlywinks compared to a lot of the stuff that we see. So I think it's all dumb. And I don't know what's going to happen next, but it doesn't seem like he is interested in apologizing or donating, which is what some of the affiliate carriers want him to do, donating to Charlie Kirk's family and the organization. Just don't think that any of that is going to happen anytime soon.
I did see, I forget which one of them, but I watched Fallon and Colbert and who's the third guy that's on NBC? Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers, yeah.
I watched the three of their monologues yesterday, and one of them brought up that the chair of the FCC, who was doing this mob boss, we'll do this the easy way or the hard way thing with Jimmy Kimmel, they found old tweets of his from 2020 that were like, we can't be silencing broadcasters, we can't be censoring people and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, that's taking a turn.
You're talking about this guy. This is the chair of the FCC, Brendan Carr. Here's one of the clips of him.
And again, we're constraining the power through those actions of Disney, of Comcast. I think the American public are going to be much better off. But yeah, I don't think this is the last shoe to drop. This is a massive shift that's taking place in the media ecosystem, and I think the consequences are going to continue to flow.
All right. Consequences will continue to flow, says the head of the FCC. This is a massive shift taking place. Here's another clip on the same show of the FCC head.
And so, again, we're going back to that era when...
Hold on, that's the same one. I'm sorry. Where was the other one that I had? I had another clip of him somewhere. I might not have it here right in front of me. But there was another clip where he was talking about targeting other shows, and he specifically mentioned The View, like talking about the folks on The View. Now, one thing you should know is the FCC can do anything directly to the network. All right. The FCC doesn't, the FCC issues licenses. All right. I know this from working in the broadcast industry for a very long time. We have to protect our license. That's what they call it working at the radio station. We literally have to take these little tests behind the scenes where we learn about the rules of the FCC, where we learn all the things that we have to do as a radio station.
That's coming up soon, by the way.
Yeah. We do it every single year. So we know about these things. And one of the key things that they'll tell you is protect the license, because if a radio station or a television station has an issue with its license, that's the plug is pulled. They're done. They're not going to, they're not going to air anything. They won't be able to because the FCC has that power. But the FCC doesn't have any power over the network. All right. Like ABC, they can't say ABC from the top down, you can't do this. You can't have this host on. They can't do that. They can't do that at all. The power that they have is over the television stations individually in each market that air all of this programming. Some of which are owned by ABC. Some of them are owned by Sinclair. Some of them are owned by Nexstar.
Okay.
Other different outlets too.
Now, when it came to this, is it a rumor or for sure happening? This deal that is in the near future, in which they needed the FCC comes into play. Obviously,
no, that's not a rumor. No, Nexstar, one of the companies that was most vocal about this, is trying to close a deal that will allow them to own more television stations.
So the FCC comes into play to say, okay, you're okay to do that. Why would?
Yes.
But is that like they present something to the FCC and that's when they give the stamp of approval, or it's just this one guy who's like, yeah, no problem?
So you know how people always talk about things like they'll bring up the fairness doctrine and all these things which don't even really exist anymore. That they'll talk about all these things. One thing that the FCC actually does do is it mandates, if there's a company, let's say it's Sabrina Corporation in your city, you can only own so many television stations or radio stations or like newspapers.
Like a monopoly.
So yes, because otherwise you'll have like a media monopoly on the city. So for instance, like it was pretty hard for the Chicago Tribune to also own WGN radio even for a little while. But then you definitely couldn't own too many more stations because you were very, very limited. And they didn't want one company owning all of the media outlets in a city. And so there's ownership stuff on that. And this company, Nexstar, is trying to own more than you were traditionally allowed to own. So more ownership of more stations, getting them more power. To do that, you actually do need the FCC's approval. And so that's why they're in a different position. They're in a position like that. They're not alone. Disney also needs approval to buy, I think it's Fubo that they're trying to buy right now, the streaming outlet. So there's things about purchasing more media companies where you need the FCC approval. So the FCC definitely has sway in that way. Yeah, that's not like a rumor. That's a legitimate thing for sure. Stevie on YouTube says the FCC can block mergers that would give companies a larger portion of the market. Yes, that's absolutely correct. That's 100% true. They're throwing around their power because they think that they can sway things perhaps in a different direction here when there's been no resistance politically before. They're 100% doing that. Whether you agree with it or not is a different thing. But ABC would not have pulled Jimmy Kimmel on their owned and operated stations, meaning he could still be on right now if he would have come out and clarified the comment that he made, according to some of the reporting today. But Jimmy Kimmel was resistant. He did not want to do that. He wanted to instead double down and say his words were being twisted. And people were purposely maybe misunderstanding what he was saying. We'll go to your thoughts on that in just a moment. Join us on the show. Send us an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. In fact, Bo emails the show. Hey, Junkie and team. I think the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel for Republicans and the Charlie Kirk thing was kind of a last straw moment. I may be wrong, of course, but over the years, Kimmel went for anti-vaccine people, mocking them and saying they would die of COVID when people still spread and caught COVID. He called them fascists and neo-Nazis, etc. I think they just don't think people like that should have a national platform. I personally think free speech is more important, but maybe the powers that be are afraid of being responsible for the next radical moment. I don't like Kimmel personally or his opinions, but Charlie Kirk was all about free speech too. Anyway, just wanted your take on that. Hope the roast goes well, says Bo. Thank you, Bo. Appreciate the email.
So the tweets that kind of surfaced up from February of 2020, right as COVID was about to hit. Brendan Carr said political...
That's the FCC guy.
Yeah. Said political satire is one of the oldest and most important forms of free speech. It challenges those in power while using humor to draw more people into the discussion. Blah, 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 blah. From internet memes to late-night comedians.
Wow.
From cartoons to the plays and poems old as organized government itself. Political satire circumvents traditional gatekeepers, helps hold those in power accountable, And then at some point, shutting down this type of political speech, especially at the urging of those targeted or threatened by its message, would represent a serious threat to our freedoms and ability to hold those in power accountable.
Right. Here and here's where I'd like to be on this, because you're right. I agree. I think there's a lot of hypocrisy in this. I think chilling free speech, just generally speaking, is bad. I like a free market of ideas. I like robust debate. I like all of those things, right? But I can also understand how somebody right of center right now would be going, why are you guys suddenly feeling this? Why are you suddenly feeling this right now when you absolutely didn't feel this way about things with little kids who painted their face for the Redskins games, with people in media like that lady from the Star Wars series that ended up getting canned for a couple of Instagram posts, like a million examples over the past 15 years where the exact opposite of this happened. And people who are hand-wringing today weren't hand-wringing then. And the thing that I would love to come from this is for everybody, but folks on the right of center and folks on the left of center, to go, yes, this is dumb. Yes, let's stop doing this. Yes, but that's not what anybody wants to do, because people want revenge.
But
they don't care about being
those
hypocrites.
moments with the little kid and the lady from the Star Wars,
Gina Carano.
Mm-hmm.
There was the giant corporations and the networks and the FCC chair were not involved in that. We didn't hear anything from them. So that's where it comes into play?
That is absolutely not true. No. With Gina Carano in particular, it was Disney who got rid of her. It was Disney who responded to people being upset about her Instagram posts about COVID and Republicans. And Disney, who said, we're not going to be working with her anymore. No, it was similar. There were very similar things that were happening. I don't know if people just weren't paying attention, or it's a newfound thing about freedom of speech. I would like everybody to just say, hey, moving forward, let's stop doing that. Let's stop. But I don't know that. In fact, I doubt that's going to happen. Tell me otherwise. Tell me I'm wrong. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, when we come back, we'll get to you and your thoughts. We got some more updates on the situation at the theme park. A big restaurant out there, maybe one that you like, has just made a huge change. Is this going to change a lot of other major restaurants? Are they going to start doing this too? Wait till you hear this idea. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Crews have moved that accident off to the shoulder now on Florida's Turnpike northbound before Hancock Road. Although traffic's still piling up, there's an accident on Colonial Drive at Mills Avenue getting cleared up. Look out for a crash.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
676-8477 from the traffic center of James, Birmingham.
This report is sponsored.
Guys, good news, okay? We'll get back to the drama here momentarily. Good news. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. It looks like the tropical storm Gabriella is going to be pushed way off the east coast of the United States. And fingers crossed, knock on all the woods, there appears to be such a brilliant setup right now that all of the storms are forming over Africa, off the coast of Africa as they do. They're getting kicked out into the Atlantic. And the way, the Gulf Stream and everything is going, it's keeping all of those storms off the coast and away from danger. So maybe, just maybe, we get through hurricane season and we stay with this sort of shield off the coast. Love it. Do we have to get back to the drama? Well, yeah, mostly. The Twitter files were very much a thing. Yeah. There was stuff in the Twitter files. It was nothing jaw-dropping. My problem is all of the people who are responding right now and going, free speech is under attack, the government is getting involved, Jimmy Kimmel did nothing wrong, all that stuff. Totally fine. It's totally fine. But where was that energy for like 15 years? Where was that energy when mobs on all the social media platforms were coming from people who had right of center opinions? Where was that energy when people were getting fired from Hollywood productions, from movies, from all these things like we discussed for all these years? They didn't give a shit because they agreed with it. And now, I think there's a lot of Republicans who are like, well, guess what? I'll adopt that too. Which for me is the worst case scenario. Because then both sides are going to be like, okay, we're going to play this game, and it's just warfare. That's how I see it, if that makes sense. I see it in a way where it's like, this doesn't end good if both parties are playing by these crappy rules. I wish the Republicans would be like, yeah, you're right, this does suck. And the Democrats could be like, yep, it does. All right, let's agree not to do this. But it ain't happening. Sean, did you see Destiny got demonetized on YouTube? Yes, and it's 0% surprising. And as many good things as Destiny has done, the trolling every person that gets killed, the trolling of the Trump supporters, the Trump supporter in particular that got shot and killed when they tried to assassinate Trump, the trolling of his family, the trolling of all these things in the name of the other people are nasty too. I'm sorry, but that's always going to lead to at least a demonetization. That is always going to go that route, 100%. Unfettered for you, I don't know what you're saying. Ryan says, Sean, I can speak for myself. I never have a problem with somebody getting canceled on either side if it was a private thing from a private company. When it comes from the Fed, that state TV stuff, I agree. But when the federal government was pressuring all the social media platforms, specifically during COVID, to delete posts from people, to even delete videos, to shut down conversations that were going on, the same people, maybe not you, but the same people in a lot of these cases didn't care. They didn't even care that the feds were in on it. I think the feds should be completely out of content decisions at all, personally. But I think we should call everybody, and I mean this with all my heart, everybody who engages in cancel culture, who's trying to go for scalps, trying to get people fired, we should call them all, right or left, retards.
Shopping for hurricane impact windows? Get your free quote now, reesewindows.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Radio 104.1.
If you ever need to talk, he'll pretend to listen. You're listening to
thenewsjunkie.com and thenewsjunkie.com/roast, where you can get those tickets right now. Go check it out on thenewsjunkie.com/roast.
Brought to you by justcallmo.com. And during the go, just call Mo.
Can't wait to see what Mo has to say about the roast. I'm interested to see how far he goes.
He's got some, I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
He's had a grin on his face every time we've brought this up, as if he's been cooking up things for the roast and some jokes
like
and
a
lines.
Mr. Burns-esque kind of.
Yeah. He's got.
He just notes everything down. Just one of these days.
He's got enough connections. He knows a bunch of comedians. I just wonder how far he'll actually go. But you can see for yourself, thenewsjunkie.com/roast. Thanks to our sponsor, justcallmo.com. A lot of fans out there. A lot of fans out there of Olive Garden, all right? Yes. I think C-Lane's been not even that long ago. I've been not that long ago. I've been. It's a fun time. It's good stuff. Some people look down their nose at an Olive Garden. That was my mom's favorite restaurant.
Oh.
Literal favorite restaurant. She absolutely loved it. She swore by, and I think we've fought on this show over this before, but she swore by the Olive Garden breadsticks being the best of any place like that.
They're so good.
They get pummeled, though, Sabrina, when you bring those up. Because people go to the Cheddar Bay biscuits or...
the Cheddar Bay biscuits are pretty good.
I mean, they're great, but that's two different experiences.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Olive Garden breadsticks and the Alfredo sauce you can dip it into.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
talking about it, my mouth is watering.
Stuff is dangerous.
For example, I think the Cheddar Bay biscuit is better than the Olive Garden breadstick, but I don't think...
Get out!
I don't think that it would be appropriate to swap the two if I'm eating at Olive Garden and enjoying their cuisine,
right?
Their version of Italian food. I would like their version of breadsticks there. I don't need Cheddar Bay.
Well, they've got a new option for you, C-Lane. Tell me if you think this is genius. Tell me if you think this is going to change things, if other people are going to start copying this. When you go to Olive Garden, they're going to seat you like normal. And
They're going to treat you like family.
Yes, when you're there, you're family. They'll treat you that way. And then you're going to sit down at your Olive Garden, and they're going to say, what can I get you to eat? And they got their little pad of paper or their big brain where they memorize it. And you go, I'll take the spaghetti and meatballs. And a new question will be entering the lexicon at Olive Garden. And that is, would you like a light portion or a full portion? And they're going to start offering cheap, light like smaller size portions of all of the items that they have on the menu over there.
Like kid size.
Kind of. Like for $12.99, which is a pretty good, honestly, that's a pretty good price point.
What's the full portion?
This is, it doesn't say like how big it is compared to the other one, but it says Darden Restaurants is experimenting with smaller servings at Olive Garden, testing out a lighter portion entrees menu across almost half of its locations right now. The new menu, which offers smaller portions and a reduced price on 7 of its existing entrees, is an additional option and will not replace anything. So don't freak out. Don't think they're taking something away from you. They're not doing that, but they're just saying, like, we're going to give you a little bit smaller if you want something cheaper for everybody. And it seems like it could be a smart idea. Seems like that might. But I'll tell you this, if I don't order the light version, you better lump that stuff on my plate. You better give me a heaping portion. If I don't want to see my regular plate and go, this looks like a light portion to me. I don't know.
I love a good to-go box in the sense of I will leave this restaurant so full I can never eat again. And then 2 o'clock in the morning, and go into the fridge and grab the rest of my full portion, apparently.
Yeah, because then you're eating up. Sometimes that's smarter, actually.
Thank you.
You pay for the regular one, and maybe it's not $12.99, but you're getting a secondary meal out of this.
This is good, though, because some people don't like to be wasteful, and you're not always in a situation where you can take food to go. Like if you're out for lunch and you got stuff to do, or if
or a hotel with no microwave.
Yeah, if you're there's a whole bunch of reasons why you would not take food to go, but also I think the smaller portion thing is a positive for the Ozempic crowd.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, there's a ton of people that would just go, yeah, I want to go there, but that seems like a place where it's just too much for me. Let's go over to David on YouTube. It says, this is backlash after them raising their prices. Rachel says, this is a great idea. Food portions have gotten ridiculous. True, Rachel. Some places you go to, it is just kind of preposterous.
Man,
so now I want to know what the full portion costs. And I want to know how much the kids' spaghetti and meatballs is. Because though you will not have a kid with you there physically, they won't stop you from ordering kids to go.
Some places will. To go. Yeah. I see what you mean.
To go, you're hidden behind the anonymity of to go.
You're like, my kid is in the car right now, and if the longer you take for this to go, the more they're heated up.
They should give you a little shame plate, though, if you order the cheap one.
Here's for the widow baby.
Yeah. Here you go.
And all the employees come around just like happy birthday.
Someone doesn't have much money. Someone doesn't have much money.
They have a full beard, but not a kid. Doo-dah.
And then you just got to be proud about it. You're like, guess what? I'm saving today.
Do you want crayons, little baby?
I think it could be smart for a couple of reasons, including what C-Lane said with the people who are on some of these drugs that make it so you're not as hungry anymore. And Olive Garden isn't a good option for them. Let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. I do know a lot of times when I go to a place like that, though, and I hate it. I don't like leaving and being like, oh, God, what did I just do to myself?
Where it's like, let's get in the car because I need to unbutton these pants. And I can't talk. I don't even think a little cough would end up well or end up all over my steering wheel.
It's funny how vivid those memories are for me, leaving places like Shoney's and like the buffet places from back in the day. I literally remember doing what Sabrina was talking about, like sitting in the back seat of my mom's van and like unbuttoning my pants because I ate too many tacos.
It's like not even any more room in your stomach, so it's just laying in your esophagus. Like it's just has now taken up any other room it could.
I go, why did I do that to myself?
I was quite surprised and a little proud of myself for avoiding that over the weekend when we took Jackson to Kobe for the first time. For my birthday.
Oh, they lay it on you.
Yeah, and I have been the person that finishes the Kobe food at the table.
Bless your soul.
And that is not smart. And this time I was just like, all right, you know what? I should probably slow down. I keep forgetting that there's potatoes. I was like,
This is one of the hibachi places that Celan's talking about where they just keep shoving it at you so much.
Yeah.
And last time I went with Courtney, she tried to kind of whisper at the hibachi guy putting on the whole show. He's cutting a shrimp, singing "This Girl Is on Fire" or whatever.
Okay,
and
our guy didn't do that.
Nothing.
He had his bits. He had the thing. He had the things. But once in a while, you'll go to a place like Kobe or Benihana, the hibachi place, and you'll be like, the other tables
having real fun time.
They're laughing.
The other tables guy is going a little above and beyond. We didn't get any Japanese Katy Perry out of this guy, but the one behind us, his grill is on fire.
Courtney leans over to the guy and she goes, "Can I get a little extra of the white sauce on the side?" And he's like, "Oh, she wants some more white sauce." And then he goes into this. He's like, "Oh, she likes the white stuff."
doing?
Yeah, let me give you a squirt of the white stuff. She likes the white stuff. And I'm going, whoa, okay, maybe not. No.
That's why there's no whisper a little bit more. You go, leave the bottle.
Yeah,
right
please.
Here. And that's exactly what I did last time I went to Kobe. And there you go. You don't have to ask anybody. You don't have to have the whole parade where everyone in the restaurant knows that you want an insane amount of white sauce to go as well.
Yeah,
Take
to those
the bottle
people,
home. They have no idea.
To those people, mind your own business, okay? You mind your own
mind
business.
your own beeswax.
We're doing what we want to do over here. We want to see what you have to say, so do join us on the show with your emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or you can send in a dispatch. Record your video or audio dispatch, tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
My mom had a Kobe conspiracy as we were sitting at the table there. Sweet Mama Lane was like, I think they watered down the white sauce. It's not sticking. It's not sticking to my vegetables as much as it used to.
She should have called them out.
Say something. Can I speak to your manager, please?
I won't stand for this. Your mom should have been madder than anybody is about any of this political stuff, but solely about her.
Yes,
her
100%.
Somebody says we got it wrong, by the way, and that's fine. If you think I got something wrong, you could always email tips@thenewsjunkie.com. I will say this week on the show, I suggested that there may be some sort of loophole that stops you from getting in trouble for crimes and such if you're on tour, right? And they can't cancel a tour because there was this performer named David D4VD, and they found a dead body of a teenager in the trunk of the Tesla that he had,
and long dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a long dead, decomposed.
And she was 15, I believe.
Yes.
70 pounds when they found her. And she had matching tattoos with him and a lot of stuff. And he's still going on tour, this David guy, throwing out labubus to the crowd and acting like
hosting
nothing's going on.
funerals.
And she said, well, you guys said that they couldn't do this. Breaking, his U.S. tour has been canceled.
It ruined the tour. I mean,
Look at that.
if anything's going to cancel the tour, I think a chopped up 15-year-old in the frunk of your Tesla.
Just a homicide. That's it. They searched his house too, I saw.
Did they?
This leaked song of his, same name as the 15-year-old that was found in his frunk.
He left a lot of breadcrumbs, I think. There's pictures of, like, he had a Discord where he had a picture of him, and the Celeste allegedly was in the background, and they're like, "Who's that girl?" And he said, "What are you, a Fed?" Why would that matter? Like, if
this guy's just operating in public. Hey, David, I got questions. I'm glad the tour is canceled.
Wait, what are you, a Fed?
We got to ask you some things. Maybe the feds do need to approach you and ask about some of this stuff. So there he goes. Thank you for the email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. We'll get to yours or your dispatch real soon. In just a moment, we'll be back with more of your comments on a lovely Friday here on the show. I want to get into, at some point in time, they arrested the Rajah Jackson guy who was live streaming, and then there was a wrestling event.
Oh, with
Psycho Stu? Psycho somebody.
The one he beat to a pulp and kept just hitting his unconscious face with.
Yeah, they were supposed to do like a bit together and sort of play off of each other. And then he ended up actually attacking this person, actually punching him because he's a lunatic with no impulse control. So there's an update in his story as well, and we'll get to that as the show rolls on. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
You're going to run into some familiar delays on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. There's congestion getting through the city there on Florida's Turnpike northbound before that Hancock Road exit. Cruiser off to the shoulder, clearing up a crash. Traffic's piling up there. No issues on I-95 to worry about, but if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
My name is Arnold Bogarty, and prior to me enrolling in Rasmussen to become a nurse, I spent 16 years in the military. I went to visit the campus. The facilities were amazing.
Rasmussen University. Are you ready to be your own hero? Learn more at rasmussen.edu.
Ditch those single-pane windows and protect your home with Reese Windows and Doors, trusted for over 50 years to deliver the highest quality, factory-direct hurricane impact windows with most installs done in less than 8 weeks. And now their giveaway is bigger than ever. They want to give you $25,000 in new windows absolutely free. How do you get that? Well, you pick up your phone. You text the word WOW to 20129. If you've already entered, you're automatically eligible for the bump up to $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Check out all their options at reesewindows.com. Don't wait. Text WOW to 20129 today.
The ultimate celebration of music.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is happening tonight and tomorrow.
Live in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. 16 artists.
Hey, everybody.
Put me up. Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE.
I've never eaten a Beefy King. What are you thinking? Go try some Beefy King. It's great.
Offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see.
Quick question, chat. Distraction. We'll get back into the drama in a moment here. I got some good stuff that I want to go through. Some sparks will fly in the next segment. Let me bring it to an interesting place, or a different place, I should say. Courtney and I were talking and walking yesterday, and we have a lot of stuff that we get all the time from the grocery store. One of the things we get is these tortillas. They're low-carb tortillas, but they taste just like regular tortillas. And they're so low-calorie that it's kind of unbelievable. Like a giant tortilla is about 70 calories. And Courtney was telling me oh, there used to be some company that made ice cream, and they said it was really low calorie, and then they got busted lying about it because people were eating it and like getting fatter and stuff. I thought that was from an episode of Seinfeld. Was that real life? And are there examples of companies saying like, hey, this is good for you, hey, this is low calorie, and then they were lying to us the whole time? I just want to know that I could trust this company. I'm trying to shed my pounds. Still 210 today. Didn't fall down to that 209. The carb counter ones, they're great. I think that's the same ones. I mean, they're so good. Like, I don't care. I'm not worried about carbs. But they're like, a big tortilla is 70 calories. That's crazy. That's fantastic. Sure it's real food? I think so. No drama, Lawson. It's Friday. We've had enough. We're still good. I just did a segment about Olive Garden to take the temp down a little bit. We're going to go back and forth. It's a Seinfeld episode with a yogurt. Not sure if it's real life. Sean, why can't I write retarded, but you can say it? I don't know. It might be a YouTube thing. It might be actually YouTube's moderation stuff. That was my take, though. That's what I thought was great compromise. Like, everybody could go, okay, in this moment, do we think the whole going after somebody and policing opinions is maybe bad? And do we think, let's let people either succeed or fail and let the audience decide if they're lying to them or not, and just fight speech with more speech and that sort of stuff. Maybe that's okay. Everybody can get on board. And anybody who still wants to do the cancellation stuff, we can just call them retards to really drive the point home. That would be my solution.
Real Radio presents our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live this Friday and
Cut your carbs, Sean. It works. No, I'm not doing that.
The biggest names across all styles of music, all together on one stage on one weekend. Experience the show live.
90 seconds and we're coming back.
Only on Hulu.
Poor man's Arby's? When's the last time you bought a sandwich at Beefy King?
Sponsored locally by Rasmus.
I agree. It's not a poor man's Arby's. Nice little local company doing good business. I support them. AJ Sue points out one of them. I love Halo Top, and it's not just that it's not fattening. It's really low calorie. It's just not healthy like they implied. That was a big one, man. The Halo ice cream. And it's that, is this too good to be true thing? And you wonder, like, do I think I'm only eating this many calories, but they're lying to me? Okay, then stay 210. Come on. How rude. All right, come back.
You must finance through GM Financial. Not all buyers will qualify. Purchase allowance offer is for owners of a 2011 or newer GM vehicle, leasees of a 2020 or newer model. It's Carl Black Chevrolet Buick and GMC, East Colonial Drive, 1 block west of Alafaya. Go online to carlblackorlando.com. Experience the new Buick.
Hey, this is Matt Jones. I'm Drew Franklin, and this is NFL Cover Zero. We're just here to try to give you an NFL perspective a little bit different.
Did you see the Colts pretzel? That was my other big takeaway from that game.
What was that? Oh, my. We think NFL coverage should be informative and entertaining. And twice a week, that is exactly what you're going to get. Open up your free iHeartRadio app, search NFL Cover Zero with Matt Jones and Drew Franklin, and listen now.
If you ever need to talk, he'll pretend to listen. You're listening to the
Of the show, and I mean any of the show,
Feel free, as always, to subscribe to the podcast to catch up with us anytime you want at your leisure. Get the links to the podcast, including on iHeartRadio, over on thenewsjunkie.com. I saw because the coverage is like insane on all the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. It's like they're trying to segue past, for multiple reasons, the Charlie Kirk stuff. That's turning into old news, and now this is the new important thing, Jimmy Kimmel everything. And they had all these big trucks lined up outside the studio, and they were like rolling stuff away. And they're like, "This is it. This is the sign right here."
Is that a mini
over.
fridge?
Yeah, it looked like that. Didn't look like a very convincing thing that they were done with production.
That's right, and that doesn't seem like very paparazzi. It looks like a steady cam. Like they're very aware that camera was filming everything.
And like, well, look, there were three. See, there was 3 semi trucks that were over at the Kimmel studios. I don't know where he does his show, in LA somewhere. There was 3 semi trucks there, and they were loading stuff up into them. I don't know if that's a sign that he's not going to apologize, like some of the affiliates wanted, that he's not going to give a donation. Like I think it was Sinclair asked for that, and that he wasn't going to do those things. Or if this is unrelated, maybe they're doing something else and they're loading up these trucks and it just looks bad, you know?
That's why, like I said yesterday, people were posting videos, and these were like anti-Kimmel people, like Kimmel haters. And they were like, ha ha, sucker, you packing it up and going home. I was like, that is not a crew of people who just lost their jobs and are packing up. That's the band for tonight.
Yeah,
that is not
probably
going to get to be on TV now.
Yeah,
like,
I think people are like reading into everything a little too much, probably.
Like,
But,
why don't you learn what a road case looks like?
Whoa.
And what an instrument would
See,
look
like,
like.
calm down, dude.
And now that it's involving music, transportation equipment, this has gotten serious for
What
Sea Lane,
band was
right?
supposed to play?
Oh, I forgot. I don't. The night that they got canceled,
There
or
was
were
one
suspended.
There was one. I don't know if this person. I was assuming this person had traveled, and I didn't recognize the name, but they posted something from their hotel that was like, "Well, I guess Kimmel didn't work out, but oh well." And it was a picture of the pool at the hotel that was showing Pulp Fiction poolside.
Okay, so
all right.
All I'm getting is the show was set to have Wanda Sykes on, which I think we
Yes.
talked about.
Well,
but
yeah, we
no
talked
word
about it.
on the band.
We talked about
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe is
Oh,
going to
yeah?
be on it apparently, and I said that was funny because he gets kicked off the show, and Rob Lowe has tried so hard not to offend anybody. He's had the damn NFL hat on. But as for, I was talking a little bit earlier, and I was telling you guys what happened apparently behind the scenes that led to this. Let me show you what I was talking about, so you don't think I'm just making things up. Wall Street Journal, okay? Here's their article about this. They've been on top of the reporting on the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. We'll get past this in a second, but hang tight. Inside Disney's abrupt decision to suspend the Jimmy Kimmel show. They say the late-night host wanted to address the firestorm over his remarks about Charlie Kirk's killing on Wednesday's show. The company leaders worried it would make matters worse. And they talk about what was behind the scenes here. Soon after, the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, blasted late-night host Jimmy Kimmel over remarks related to the killing of Charlie Kirk. Executives at ABC and parent company Disney knew they had a big problem. Kimmel, during his Monday show...
Yeah, because he threatened them.
Kimmel, during his Monday show, had criticized how President Trump and some other Republicans were responding to the fatal shooting. Carr suggested during a podcast appearance 2 days later that the FCC should take actions against the broadcast licenses of ABC-owned stations. Advertisers and affiliates soon called the network, expressing concern about Kimmel's show. You can connect the dots here on how this went down. Executives at Sinclair and Nexstar, owners of more than 60 local ABC stations, told network leaders after Carr's remarks that they would indefinitely preempt the show starting that night. So this was on some of the affiliates. They were already saying there would be no Jimmy Kimmel. But ABC owns some of their own stations, too. They could have kept him on there. So why didn't that happen, right? That would have hobbled the program's reach, it says. Kimmel had planned to address Carr's comments on his show Wednesday night, according to people familiar with the matter. Before his on-air appearance, Dana Walden, co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, spoke to the host about his plan, the people said. After the conversation between Kimmel and Walden at Disney, She and other senior executives thought the star's approach would make the situation worse. People familiar with their conversation said. Executives also discussed staff safety, including threatening emails staff on Kimmel's show had received after Carr's remarks and the posting of some of their personal information online. Not only have I seen that, just for the record, I've seen this like many other things. We've got a two-sided problem with this. I've seen people going, here is the personal cell phone number of the CEO of Sinclair. Here's the address of the person behind Nexstar. Like, the same kind of stuff I've seen. But they were saying that this was also targeting like Kimmel staffers. Walden huddled her team and Disney chief executive Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, before the two executives decided to temporarily take Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air. She then informed Kimmel of the decision. A person close to the show said Kimmel was planning to say that his words were being purposefully twisted by some members of the MAGA movement. Media owners are facing complex political and commercial dynamics during the Trump administration. They go to the quote that Jimmy Kimmel said that started all of this, and then the fallout from it. But you could see, like, Jimmy Kimmel was going to address it and say that his words were taken out of context. What was the actual quote? His words were being purposefully twisted by some members of the MAGA movement. Now, I think that's an overstatement by Jimmy Fallon. I think anybody could have taken this as you were suggesting that the shooter actually came from their side and not from the other side. I think that was a fair interpretation of his comments. He might have meant something else, and I'll leave a window open for him to have meant something else, but I think it would be fair to interpret that. And he decided at that point that he was going to turn up the heat a little bit more. And I guess Disney and all these other outlets did not want it. You could see sort of how things went down there between Sinclair and Nexstar and all of these other outlets. If you want to see more about that, it's inside Disney's abrupt decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel's show from the Wall Street Journal. That's where I was getting that from. All right, let's see. Let's maybe work in a dispatch or two in a moment here. It's super easy for you to join the show. In fact, let's go over to, here's Josh. He wants to say something. Go ahead.
What's up, news junkies? I just don't know why Jimmy Kimmel's grandfathered in to have a job. I mean, you know, these large companies have been planning to buy. It's not just since, I don't think it's just since Trump has been in office that these companies have planned to merge with other companies. I mean, maybe the situation has become right now, but Jimmy Kimmel has no right to be on late night television if he gets fired. He's not in jail. This isn't a First Amendment thing. He's not in jail. Nobody's putting him in jail. He just got fired.
He didn't even get fired. That's the thing. He didn't even get fired. He got what did they call it? I don't even know what suspension. Indefinitely suspended. And he could have gone on the very same night. That's a very key point I think so many people are missing. He could have gone on the very same night if he would have either toned things down or would have explained his statement, but he didn't want to do that. He is, I guess he sees himself kind of in a battle with these people ideologically, and he didn't want to do that. Now, you could say the pressure to make him do that is not appropriate, and that's somehow anti-free speech or whatever.
I mean, but, that's what it seems like is happening.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people just see whatever they want in these circumstances. Like, I think people see this as this is a huge assault on the First Amendment. We've never seen anything like this, which is like, okay. I think some people say Jimmy Kimmel deserved this because he's not having enough Republicans on or whatever the counter argument is. I think there's just like a million people that just sort of miss the point in all of this. If I want somebody to fail, personally, I want them to fail because they couldn't get ratings, because their show was not financially viable, because it just didn't work. And then that, to me, is much more of a victory. You're like, look, you had a chance in the war of ideas, and people just didn't dig what you were doing. I'd rather see it that way, personally. But there you go. Thank you for the feedback on that. As always, any opinions welcome. Send your dispatch to thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's see what else we got. A couple other things that I wanted to go over. Somebody sent this little tidbit worth bringing up. Remember we were talking about the roller coaster death over at Epic Universe on, remind me the name of the roller coaster. I don't have the
Stardust Racers.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Stardust Racers. Somebody said this particular person who died, 32-year-old Kevin Zavala, in the GoFundMe for him, and they said he died of blunt force trauma, I believe. Multiple blunt force trauma. Let me get the actual story up so I can read it. It says multiple blunt impact injuries. And somebody pointed out on his GoFundMe and the pictures of him, I don't know if this changes anything, but he's in a wheelchair. So one thing that comes to mind is in a wheelchair, I think for most rides, I don't know about all rides at a theme park, sometimes they have different ride cars for somebody who's disabled. You will, I can picture Tron right now. If somebody's disabled, they bring them over to the side of the line and they wait until the particular ride car that's in rotation comes by that is set up for disabled people or people in wheelchairs so that they can still ride the ride, and they get you on there. I don't know if that ride car was different and somehow that was one of the problems here that led to his death on the roller coaster, or the fact that he was, handicap led into this, but it's something to note, of course, that on his GoFundMe, you could see that he was a person who was in a wheelchair. So there you go. All right, when we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
I'll tell you. What's coming up on the next episode? Some reports are now indicating Sydney Sweeney and her jeans are allegedly headed to Bollywood. Pinocchio hit the public domain, so not only does he have no strings, but this wooden boy now has real murderous vengeance. Plus, never forget, this is Taylor's world, and we're just living in it. And now this world has funfetti sourdough. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Friday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we're actually going to be expecting a mostly dry day. We'll only see about a 10 to 20% chance of a very isolated shower or two. Otherwise, temperatures will be warming to near normal values with a high of around 90 degrees today in Orlando. We'll stay mostly dry as we head into our Saturday and Sunday as well. Only about a 20 and 30% chance of rain. Highs near...
Hello. Most people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, someone's winding down.
Saturday, September 27th.
Uh-oh.
Take your shot at the $100,000.
I don't know what happened there.
Prize pool is a fall cash out at Orange City Poker.
Somebody said, I wonder if Sean would have apologized if he were in Jimmy Kimmel's shoes. So the first thing that would be interesting to see is if they were going to force him to frame it as an apology. Because if I analyze everything and I think at the end of the day what I'm saying is accurate and right and it still hurts somebody's feelings, I'm not going to apologize for that. I won't, just as a principled stance, I wouldn't apologize for that. But if I said what he said, to me, it sounded misleading. And it would be very, very easy for somebody to hear that and pull away from it that the shooter was motivated by something he was not motivated by. And so if the option was to, in less than an apology type delivery, say, hey, I wanted to clarify some comments that we made. It doesn't appear there's any evidence to suggest that this shooter was motivated by right-wing ideas, that he was attached to the MAGA movement in any way. Just wanted to get that out there. Hey, even we're waiting for more information. Anything like that would have been fun. And I would have done that if I were him. If I said what he said, I would have done that.
Combining the use of robotics and an endoscope, our expert neurosurgeons are performing spinal fusion surgeries more safely and effectively than ever
3 minutes.
with smaller incisions which lead to quicker recovery times for patients.
I think Kimmel knew he was dancing in the line of what it really meant. Yeah, I find it really hard to believe he doesn't understand why people would interpret it that way. That I refuse to believe. I don't believe he looks at that sentence and is like, why would anybody think that? That's brain dead. I don't believe that at all. At all. So if he looked at it and he was like, oh, I get it. I see why people might think this. Why not put a little line? Just a little line. Hey, by the way, I wanted to address something. A lot of people thought I was trying to do this with my comments. That was not my intention. In fact, I think they were taking me out of context. But let me just go on to say that there's no evidence that this shooter was, inspired by MAGA. That's it. I think that would have been fun. Still waiting on the abolishment of the FBI and the IRS? Good luck with that. All talk and no bluster. By the way, the idea that you would get rid of the FBI is insane. Gonna need the feds for something, right? For some utilization of the feds is gonna be needed, right?
Friends at Life Imaging FLA have a great idea for you. Get over there and get that full heart screen. That's right. It's a free heart screening from Life Imaging FLA. That's Life Imaging FLA. They know that early detection of heart disease and cancer is a game changer in terms of treatment.
1 minute, we're coming back.
And they can give you that free heart scan. Take the one you love with you and get that scan. Just pick up
Bring Lady in the studio. Lady comes in the studio now before the show, and she sits down like right here. Like right here. And if I go in or out or wherever, she just stays sitting right there because she knows that right before the intro starts, I will give her a cheese ball to throw down the hallway so she'll leave. Smart dog. She knows. She's like, he wants me out of here, and he doesn't have enough time. So she'll sit and wait and wait and wait for like 20 minutes. So I throw the cheese ball down the hallway and she leaves. What a master negotiator. Brilliant, honestly. Coming back for the next episode. Here we go.
Of racing and the power of skilled trades. Mentorship, education, legacy. Fuel the future on the track and in the trades. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com.
Connected to the things you love.
The free iHeartRadio app does that with live radio, 24/7 news, live sports, and your favorite podcasts.
There's no catch and no charge.
Radio, your way.
Join the millions who already have it. The free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening.
Entertainment and beyond. Big thanks to Cat Butthole. That name always trips me up. For gifting 3 Secret Show subscriptions. Claim those while you can over on the website. That's at thenewsjunkie.com.
That person changed their name because they had an issue with the way I was saying it. And the way I was saying it was not because of the spelling. I just like saying it that way. It sounds classier to say Butthole.
Yeah, and it still gets me
like,
each
we
time.
changed it so C-Lane won't say it wrong. And I'm like, I'm going to double down, Ms. Batole.
I try to find a nicer way to say the username, and I'm like, feline, orifice. Thank you for the gifted subs. Appreciate that. Go find out more about secret shows at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, here we go, folks. Let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Can I get a little extra of the white sauce on the side?
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
Smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. That's his website. Super easy to get to and also navigate through. Also has chock full of information. When it comes to refinancing, maybe buying your first dream home, mortgage rates, they're up, they're down, and now they seem to be in a great spot. So If it's time to make your move, make that move with someone you could trust who has your back, and that's That Mortgage Guy Don. Start the process today by going to thatmortgageguydawn, you guessed it, .com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydawn.com.
It was a mere 40 years ago, 1985. The U.S. Senate committee heard testimony of the labeling and rating of that filthy music from back in the day. Explicit lyrics. It was initiated by the Parents Music Resource Center, a.k.a. Party Time. That was led by whom for 2 points?
Nancy Reagan.
No.
Betty Ford.
No,
it
was
is a wife of a politician.
Tipper Gore.
That is
Tipper.
correct. And that is 2 points for you. Now, the PMRC, they made a list of the most horrendous songs to present to the U.S. Senate that day. Their filthy 15 included Prince's Darling Nikki. Ugh, makes me sick just saying the name.
Because he said masturbating?
Sheena Easton's Sugar Walls. Nasty.
Sugar Walls. All
Yeah.
right. I would have watched this live.
Me
Were I
too.
old enough back then. I'd be like, yeah, let's watch all the politicians say all the dirty things.
Cyndi Lauper's She Bop. Whoa.
Which, by the way, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that's not even bad. It's just like
You're
have
saying
to,
that now with your filthy ass head.
But the point is, they would go, well, she bop actually means masturbation or something, but there's no curse words or anything.
There's no
in it at
curse
all.
words. I don't know that it's even that. I listened
It's
to She
the
Bop
ear
as a kid,
of
and
the beholder, right?
maybe, but my parents weren't worried about it because they knew I didn't get, unless they didn't get it. They knew I didn't know this secret meaning to She Bop. It was just a good sounding song.
Well, it was not good for the Parents Music Resource Center, as well as this song right here.
Twisted Sister.
No! And guess what? The Senate committee heard the testimony from Frank Zappa, John Denver, and Dee Snider himself from Twisted Sister, who were opposed to the music censorship.
John Denver's full of crap.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay. Pretty Bird.
Yeah.
Pretty Bird? Okay.
Yep. Same movie.
I'm
Indeed.
quoting. Just a little bit more information on the Jimmy Kimmel front. And gosh, what will next week bring us? It has not stopped. Jimmy Kimmel reportedly looking for a way out of his ABC contract. A source says that he wants to guest star on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert before it goes off the air. He's gonna fight this, sources are saying. David Letterman has chimed in, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
I think I saw the video, yeah.
Kimmel's suspension saying you can't go around firing somebody because you're fearful or trying to suck up to an authoritarian, a criminal administration in the Oval Office. Yeah, that's just not how it works, said David Letterman.
It shouldn't be how it works.
Like mentioned earlier this week, Sinclair Broadcast Group aired a tribute to Charlie Kirk, or will air, in his time slot over the weekend. They're saying, here's a twist. The executive producer of the Charlie Kirk show called Paramount and asked them to reinstate the episode that made fun of Charlie.
This is also weird because it was never taken away. That story just went wild and it was never actually removed.
It sounds like repeated theme these days is just take it and go and see what happens afterwards. He says Charlie loved the way they parodied him and would have wanted it to air. And then Barack Obama urging media companies to stand up to the Trump administration rather than catapult to it. And there you have it, my friends. Now, let's move on to something that's more...
Catapult to it.
What did I say?
It can't be catapult.
All right, sorry. Capitulate.
Capitulate. Okay,
capitulate.
Yeah. I was going to say catapult to it.
Sorry, guys.
Well,
I have dyslexia. And I'm
we should
trying to...
fling ourselves in like a
At the
catapult.
administration.
Yeah.
All right, but when you catapult something that might hurt them... Yeah,
I guess so.
Didn't they actually do that in South Park?
They might
catapulting?
have.
Whatever, guys. I'm just sorry. I can't read. Calvin Harris can't manage his money, according to a new
Clavin.
report.
It's not. It's not. Don't do that. It's not.
That was very funny, C-Lane.
That's not fair.
Now go screw yourself. Calvin Harris has alleged that his former financial advisor stole over $22.5 million from him.
Oh my God.
Which is like, did you want to check up after the first $2 million were taken away?
How many millions do you have that you didn't notice until that many went by?
A lot.
That's a lot.
To fund a real estate project, the artist filed an arbitration demand at the Superior Court of California, saying that in the files obtained, he claims the financial advisor who worked with him between 2012 and 2025, Thomas St. John, which seems like a very bland, let's pick a name out of the Bible, worked with conspirators to systematically take advantage of him. They had this real estate development called CMNTY Culture Campus. Cool.
All right.
In the heart of Hollywood for musicians, recording engineers, entertainers, and this is starting to sound like a broadcasting school that was not in California, but same first letter. And to include recording studios, artist lounges, office space, and spanned across 460,000 square feet.
Jesus.
And, well, guess what? Spoiler alert, I don't think that was made. And instead they allegedly stole $22.5 million from Calvin Harris.
Damn.
It would be so. This sounds like it would be an extremely first world problem, but to have that much money that you need a financial advisor and then have to worry about like how many stories of financial advisors ripping people off have you heard of?
And
it's
that's
insane.
when they're caught. Imagine, like, there's so many out there that have skimmed and gotten away with it for so long.
Well, skimming
Especially
is one thing.
if the person has like billions or something.
What is-
you wouldn't even know.
What's his net worth these days?
Well, no, sometimes they steal the whole thing. Like Billy Joel was broke for a while.
Yeah.
But
Because
that's
he's Billy Joel, so he can regenerate. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, how much do you think Calvin Harris's
I'll be
net
honest
worth
with you.
is?
I wouldn't have said 22 million, but if he lost that much, he might.
It's 50? Up there.
50 is my guess.
Ooh, okay.
70 million.
$300 million.
Oh.
As of early 2025, it comes from
Buying a
DJing,
keyboard.
record. He's a producer, singer, and songwriter. What did he sing?
I'm just imagining Sean with his unboxing his keyboard, working on my new songs.
All you have to do is like have a little beat going, and then you have to
A little
have,
808, a little bass.
like a woman go,
And
"Oh
then
my God!"
And that's
You
not.
know?
It's like, you didn't know you were here now. Your love is my detention.
Maybe
Wah,
like
wah,
a country
wah, wah,
singer,
wah, wah.
but the beat's like wong, 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 wong.
Oh, country singer.
We're making money right now.
Who's making money as well is Sydney Sweeney, and it's not off dem jeans. As a matter of fact, she's going to Bollywood, baby.
Uh-oh.
Those of you just watching on the stream.
Do the
not
walk
bad.
like an Egyptian thing, yeah. Not bad.
Yeah.
Reports indicate that she has been offered how much to star in a Bollywood film.
Man, they're taking our jobs. They're taking our Sydney Sweeney now. Unbelievable. I think Bollywood is not only big money, but
Big money.
you think Hollywood's big? There are so many people in India. So I'm going to say $20 million.
Okay, that's a guess.
Damn it. It's not a good one, then.
When you're ready.
$21 million.
Okay, $48 million is one
That's
rumor.
crazy. I'd do it.
Another one saying $61 million
My God.
for her to do
If you got
Bollywood.
offered 48 mil for the news junkie Bollywood,
I would do
Let's
it.
go, baby. Whatever you want.
I'll do it all.
Yeah, so they outlined the deal. It was $48 million to star in the film, $13 million for additional sponsorship agreements, total sum being that $61 million range, which ain't too jobby. Sandra Bullock reportedly made about $70 million for Gravity. So in comparison, instead of going to space, she goes to India. And if you find yourself at a grocery store, you can go into Funfetti World, all thanks to Taylor Swift. Because why not jump on a train based on one tiny little moment? Taylor Swift mentioned one time that she was working on Funfetti sourdough. Off the bat, C-Lane, you had a sourdough experience in your household, did you
I think
not?
I still have some starter in the back corner of the fridge.
Gonna be there
It's
for a while.
It ain't starting anything.
No.
So riddle me funfetti sourdough. Is that gonna be any good?
Sourdough seems like it tends to be more of a savory bread, but if you want to slap some funfetti on it and give it a try,
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
C-Lane sourdough
You won't
starter.
tell me. You're saying Pillsbury because they're the ones that created the limited edition funfetti sourdough bread mix.
All right.
It's available for everybody. What were you
C-Lane
saying, Tom?
sourdough starter is going to be like that guy in Panama where it's
Did you see the recent update?
Yeah, I've been watching.
Hey, the thing just saw the sun for the first time since being in that safe.
I've
Moving
seen
and growing around.
If I'll tell you about this later. We'll give you an update on this later.
Yeah, unless that thing grows 10 times more and we're all dead.
Maybe.
Each funfetti sourdough box, only
that guy.
1,500 boxes were made. $9.99.
I was so lost for a
He's
second.
on a delay. It's like Panama? What?
Also, you can order at funfetti.com. No one had that website already?
Nice.
And speaking of Taylor Swift, while
she
we're
bought
here...
it.
Oh, no, it was Pillsbury. I don't even think that they're not saying Taylor Swift's
Oh.
funfetti. They're just like, hey, great idea. We're going to steal it.
Good for them.
Target has announced that it will be opening 500 stores at midnight to sell the new album. Unfortunately, Taylor won't be there.
Why not?
Because she's dead.
But yeah, what was that? Wasn't it today I learned of some sort recently this week that he said Target, Taylor, something?
Well, Target used to have by policy no music on while people were
okay,
shopping.
okay, that's what it
and then they started putting like Taylor Swift on and stuff.
And so much music that at midnight, local time, for 500 stores, you can wait in line with other Swifties and get that new CD cassette.
Which is called
The new Taylor Swift, The Life of a Showgirl.
Showgirl
That's
thing.
it, yeah.
I knew it was something that sounded strippery.
You ready for that television instead of going into the strip clubs? I'll tell you, this weekend we got the first season finale of Chief of War with my baby and his shirt off. Farm Aid 40 with your babies, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews. Kenny Chesney, and of course, Willie Nelson. Sunday Night Football. The big game's going to be Giants and the Chiefs. A Grammy salute to Earth, Wind, and Fire, the 21st night of September.
Nice.
Episode 3 of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Episode 3 of Task, which, if y'all haven't started yet, it's getting so good.
Nice.
And whatever else you want to do over the weekend, just follow your dreams. And me on Instagram, at Sabrina Ambra. But most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. We'll do an update on the Panama mystery creature.
It's insane.
If you're not initiated on this, we'll tell you what's happening. But when we come back this week in Florida with C-Lane, that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's slowdowns on Florida's Turnpike northbound between Oakland Exchange and Hancock Road. Ongoing constructions causing some delays on the Turnpike northbound approaching that US 192 exit. You're going to run into some familiar delays on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road there, and some slowdowns through the city. No issues on I-95. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service.
Hey! This week in Florida is coming up next with C-Lane. Should be a fun ride.
And listen to your questions get answered live on the air.
Christina emailed and said, so I'm listening on a delay, and I don't know if anybody else shared this, but Keith Olbermann has an iHeart podcast. I did not know that. Interestingly enough, considering how far left he is, when Colbert's firing announced he actually agreed with you that it was because of money and not Trump. Well, I think that was just true in that case. I think that was just accurate. In fact, there's a clip in the lineup somewhere talking about that. If you want to hear a very far left take on the current news, it's a good listen. Not sure about you, but I try to get the full spectrum, far right, far left, and middle of the road in my news. Countdown is twice a week and often a fun listen. Though I admit sometimes I skip half of it. Have a great day. Love the show. It's not for me. Yeah, that's not for me. He's just like, he's so far beyond partisan that it doesn't make sense for me. Five minutes.
For over 35 years, the Philadelphia Eye Institute has been a name in Central Florida that you can certainly count on.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to listen to some stuff from left of center, I'll probably tune into some streamers that generally go in that direction and just see where their head's at. I'll touch on this or that, but I don't really watch, I don't watch Fox News, I don't watch MSNBC, I don't give a shit about people who are like mega partisan, like obnoxious people. Talking about pop-ups on YouTube? I've never seen a pop-up on YouTube. I've never seen that before. But I have premium or whatever it's called, YouTube. So I don't get commercials on my YouTube because I watch a ton of content on YouTube. Lots. And not what you're thinking of. I don't want, like, it's no politics, no news, no nothing. Sean, are you registered to a political party? Or are you NPA? I'm independent. I'm NPA.
Next time, go to RC Hill, Mitsubishi. Right, RC? That's right. It's a crime to pay more.
Didn't Keith Olbermann start out on ESPN? He started out on ESPN, I believe, went to MSNBC. He's a very, 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 very difficult person to work with, apparently. So he got bounced out of MSNBC and briefly went back to a limited role at ESPN, but he was so annoying to them over there, they bounced him out too. Sean watches Brain Rot on the weekends. I don't really want to tell you what I watch. I'll tell you what I'm watching this weekend. 3 minutes and we're back live. We watched the first 2 episodes of Black Rabbit last night. Anybody watch that yet? On Netflix, Jason Bateman's Black Rabbit. We watched the first 2 episodes of that, and the thing that I saw that I immediately liked, first episode's like an hour and 1 minute long, second episode's like 58 minutes long, third episode's like 47 minutes long. You know how long the episodes are? Exactly as long as they need to be. I appreciate that. They didn't try to stretch it out for commercials or anything. They're exactly as long as they needed to be. I've been enjoying that so far. I put that on my watch list. Is it good? I'm enjoying it so far. The basic story, not spoiling anything, is that Jason Bateman is a brother with a bit of a gambling problem, and he tries to go back to New York City to hang out with his brother and help him out at his very like upscale, cool restaurant. And then things go awry. And the brother, I don't know if I buy this, but the brother is played by Jude Law. You guys buy Jason Bateman and Jude Law as brothers? I don't know if I buy that, but it's good. I like it so far.
They have the lowest prices in the country. They also have all the accessories. They even have a classroom set up where they'll teach you the basics.
Amy says, I didn't watch the second episode because I had to go to bed. Amy, I'm with you. I feel like last night I was going to say, let's watch one more, let's watch a little more. But for some reason, I feel like you got to pay a lot of attention to this show. Even the beginning, much like Ozark, when the title sequence is going, there's little secret messages in there, like little objects that they show that have to do with that episode. So I want to pay like a lot of attention, personally. Brother from another mother? Yeah, maybe. One British brother, one American brother. Jude Law's British, right?
eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening.
In just a moment, Sea Lion getting ready to take you on an adventure to all of the good, the bad, and the ugly from the state of Florida this week in the news. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate you. Got a lot of emails teed up, a lot of other things to talk about. Just talking during the breaks because you can watch the show, actually. You can go to youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. I'd encourage you to do so. And I chat with everybody during the breaks. And I was talking about how we started watching last night. We watched the first 2 episodes of that new Black Rabbit show on Netflix.
We only got through the first one because Ashley had to go to bed, which I was super bummed.
We got through 6.
Oh, did you really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. We did not stop.
I wanted to go further, but on Sea Lane's point, like I feel like I got to pay attention to this show.
Yes.
Like there's clues at the beginning, and there's enough that I really felt like I wanted to pay attention to. And 2 episodes into this Black Rabbit show that a lot of people will be watching this weekend on Netflix with Jason Bateman, one of the only things that trips me up a little bit is we're supposed to just believe that Jason Bateman and Jude Law are brothers.
Yeah. So I thought the same thing. I will comment on Jude Law is a great actor. But his impression of a New York person is not working at all.
I don't know.
He goes, what you doing here? I'm like, okay.
I'm opening up my restaurant.
And then the other sidebar is Jason Bateman looks hot, like an old rock star.
Jason Bateman grew out the hair and the beard and was kind of going for this like gritty rock star guy.
But he's still 100% Bateman. I mean, I chuckled at his very first line of dialogue. Mm-hmm. It was like the waitress was coming up to him and he's like, "Yeah, can we can this S song, please, and give me another drink?" And I was like, there he is. He's here
Jace.
finally. Because it took about 13 minutes for him to appear in the show.
It's a nice distraction, though. It's a nice distraction from all the other intense stuff that, of course, we'll continue getting into. But I like to have a nice plate of content for you each day. Some of the good, some of the bad, some of the ugly. And right now, the ugliest thing we could find. Here we go. Let's trot it out for you. Let's see. You're not ready to do this week in Florida?
No, I'm ready to do
ugly.
it.
I wasn't doing it on
I think
purpose.
you were calling me ugly.
No, it was just a natural segue. You look great. You got a haircut. Look. I need a haircut so bad, buddy. Even
I got
on a
a place
radio
for
show.
you.
Even on, I know. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Let's do This Week in Florida.
Thanks, ugly.
Giving you a recap of the most grown-worthy stories in the states. It's This Week in Florida.
That's right. The weekend is here. It's time to take a trip around the Sunshine State and see some of the craziness that has gone on in the past 7 days or more. And we start with an update. I mean, we kind of knew it was happening. Nobody is surprised by this in the least. But a woman has been sentenced. Does anybody recognize the name Alexis Von Yates?
I do for some
without Googling.
Oh,
You
okay.
know this name.
Vanier, I know the name.
Yes.
Florida story.
She is a Florida person.
Is it a violent crime?
I will tell you her occupation might help a little bit.
Nurse.
Yeah.
She is a nurse.
The nurse
Fake
the fake
Who-
nurse.
No, she is a real nurse who had
Sex and yeah.
with her
patient.
Oh, her son and her stepson.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alexis Von Yates, the one who was on a sofa with her then 15-year-old stepson late at night after they had watched a horror movie together. And she started talking about how horny
Sofa?
she's been lately, because your dad hasn't been taking care of that.
Oh, and they talked about dad's.
And then they started
Their
doing
genitals.
it. And dad came home. She has been sentenced to 2 years in prison after her husband caught her having sex
Hard
with her
time.
son last year. The victim's mother spoke during Von Yates' sentencing, calling her an incestuous pedophile. Which, my gosh, getting called a pedophile is bad enough, but incestuous pedophile, didn't know it could get worse.
Just for the record, there's not much like that police report. We read it on the show, and we probably can't ever read it again.
It's,
So many details.
If it wasn't so illegal and terrible, it would be like a Dear Penthouse forums. Like make that boy 19 years old, and you've got something there.
Sealand has printed it out in size 72 font, and he has an entire room in his house. He's plastered all of the printouts on the wall.
And now they're making me paint the bathroom again. The victim's mother spoke during Von Yates' sentencing, calling her an incestuous pedophile who groomed and violated her son. The mother also said Alexis Von Yates showed no remorse for her despicable actions and called her a coward. She will serve 2 years in state prison, followed by 2 years of community control and 10 years of sex offender probation for the July 2024 incident.
Wait, what's that? Like after 10 years, she's not a sex offender anymore?
Maybe. I thought that was a list you were on for life, but maybe it's just like a temporary thing for her. We have set a record. I teased it a couple weeks ago that it was going to happen, and it has happened. Florida has set a record.
You were right about something?
I'm right about a lot of things. Have you listened to today's show? So many things.
I hear bad take after bad take.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's cool. That's when you. I've also heard
Kiss
Skull
in the
Mike.
mouth. Kiss in the mouth.
Damn it, Sabrina!
Sorry.
A Florida man has been the 12th to be executed this year. That's the most in a year for us. After killing his estranged wife's sister and parents and setting their house on fire.
Jesus.
David Pittman, 63, was pronounced dead at 6:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time following a lethal injection at the Florida State Prison near Stark. He said, I know you all came to watch an innocent man be murdered by the state of Florida. I am innocent. I didn't kill anybody. That's it. Those were Pittman's last words, according to a statement from the DeSantis spokesperson, Alex Lanfranconi.
Do we have a last meal?
It doesn't mention a last meal here. It's just goes more into his crime and how he wiped out a whole family and burned the house down, all that stuff. Pretty messy stuff. And so he is the 12th person to be executed in Florida this year. Over to a high school where a fight broke out at Lake Worth Community High School that ended in 32 students and faculty hospitalized.
Yeah,
because they had to get out the pepper spray.
Always been a problematic school. My sister went to the Lake Worth High School there.
But they got
Not
pepper
a great
sprayed
place.
and have to go to the hospital?
There's a lot of fights. There's always been a lot of fights. There's always been a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of bad kids. Not all of them. I'm not saying if your kid goes to Lake Worth High School, I'm not saying he's bad, but there's a lot of them at that school.
Well, it says dozens of South Florida students and faculty members were hospitalized Thursday after they were exposed to the pepper spray following an altercation at the high school. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue said 32 people were taken to various hospitals after a fight broke out and the pepper spray was deployed. 10 to 12 additional students were evaluated and then taken home by their families. The principal said it was an incident. He described the incident very blandly as an altercation involving multiple students. Police and administrators worked to de-escalate the situation, but they had to get out the pepper spray, and a bunch of people went to get checked out. Not surprised at all.
Lake Worth High School is ranked the 550th or so best high school in the state of Florida.
I don't know
So-
if it's. Why would that still fall under the list of best?
550th.
I think it's just schools at that point.
I don't know, Sabrina, but I think we might be toward the end there. I think you might be at the tail end.
Wait, hold on. No. Florida has approximately 1,087 high schools. Are you surprised that it's somehow in the middle?
What's the worst school of all time then?
If it is, if that's where it is, just a little bit over the halfway point of the worst, the worst is do not go there. Do not ever go to the worst. That's what I can tell you.
Can either of you name a Florida Marlin player?
That's right.
Miami
of course.
Marlins.
Yes, I can. Yes.
That would be after you, please.
You go. Okay. Well, I was going to say Jose Cobello, but he's not on the team
Hands off
anymore.
the keyboard.
I'm not looking at anything myself. Juan Gonzalez is on the team.
Juan Gonzalez.
I mean, I can't just name one right now, but
Oh
if
yeah,
I
is your little assistant on your phone talking to you
Jose
right now?
Martin. It would be Jeff Martinez.
Oh, so Jose and Jeff Martinez, the brothers. Or yours was Juan, wasn't it, Sean?
Yes, yeah.
Well, a lot of people have this problem. And there's a guy who from Jomboy Media, which I've never heard of. You ever heard of Jomboy?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of sports stuff, I think.
Well, this Jomboy Media guy,
Yuri Perez.
during Friday's game against the Detroit Tigers, Miami Marlins reporter Jeremy Pache tried to give away hot dogs to fans at Lone Depot Park who could name a player on the team, any player on the team, at the game where the players are playing. Somebody name a Marlin, get a free hot dog, he said.
Jansen Junk is also a player on the team.
That's a great name. No takers approaching him. He approached a fan. Can you name a Marlin, sir? Yes, Sammy Alcantara. The validity of his response can be argued, but as Tesche noted, the player's name is actually Sandy.
It is.
Though he was in a generous mood because nobody else could name any Marlins players, not even for a damn free hot dog. And none of us would have been
Sandy's the
hot dog
pitcher.
recipients. He is?
Jansen Junk is the backup pitcher.
All right.
Otto
I don't know any of
Lopez. Okay, I'm giving you names now because if this gets brought up in the future, we were not
Otto
going to be
Lopez. Okay, I'm locking that one away.
Yeah.
Otto Lopez is my answer.
Like, you don't
moving
have
forward.
to self-Lopez because it's Otto Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Sabrina found the final meal from that guy that was executed by the state of Florida, which is fried chicken, steak and biscuits, and Southern Comfort Classics. He ate right before the end there.
That guy filled up. Fried chicken and steak and biscuits?
Yep. Right out the other side.
Good luck.
There is an opponent, a new opponent. It's we know that there are a lot of enemies to the Elon Musk world and sometimes SpaceX, but this one came out of nowhere, and you would have noticed if they were coming your way because they're all naked.
Oh.
Space.com has reported members of the American Association for Nude Recreation, or AANR, were among those protesting the Elon Musk-owned company's proposed use of Kennedy Space Center on the Sunshine State's, this says, so-called Space Coast. Are they trying to imply that we don't have a Space Coast? It's the Space Coast.
That's rude.
How dare you?
You know, the people that set foot on the moon left our Space Coast? They didn't leave you, so-called my ass. Among the many potential impacts associated with bringing SpaceX to Florida, including hearing damage to local residents and flight delays across the state, is the repeat closure of Playa Linda Beach, which, as you all know, a remote location on the Canaveral National Seashore that's one of Florida's 4 main public beach where nudity is legal.
And let's be very clear, for those of you that don't live near a beach and have never experienced a nude beach, it's not beautiful people running around with... It's junk you never wanted to see in real life.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's
Judgerson.
You've been to this nude beach?
It's experience by accident. And
Yeah,
I also grew
have you
up in
been?
Miami, that also has a nude beach, and I went to that one, and it's not the people you...
But have you been to the Playa Linda one? Have you seen the nudes there?
Yeah. Like I said, it's just don't go with big expectations. Great tans, but very hangy.
When you say
old
don't
junk.
go with big expectations, is that implying that
they're all part of the committee?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Otto Jackson is the baseball player.
She's uncomfortable with this conversation.
Popular among the clothing optional set, Playa Linda could be closed up to 60 times per year due to Starship operations. And Deborah Sue Stevens, a former regional director for the nudist organization's Western branch, say those closures will harm many members of her community. I think you're going to survive.
You're gonna be okay.
I think you're going to survive. You're going to be okay. There's other places you could be naked. I really don't think... nudists may end up traveling to nearby Volusia County, where clothing optional Apollo Beach, located further along the Canaveral shore, is also popular. There's a nude beach right next to it.
Why do they have to close that one down, though?
It's too close to the...
Can't watch rockets naked?
I think it's too close to the launch site. There's a
Why are
bunch
we
of...
such pussies in America? Haven't you ever
Thank
seen
you.
these other countries where the airplanes come down so close when they're landing that people stand on the beach and like waft in the flow of burned fuel as the planes blow them over?
Now imagine seeing that without clothes on.
Yeah, and that's fine. If they die like that, that's the way they wanted to go.
I don't know. If it knocks you over and then you get the sand everywhere, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But that's it, friends, for this week in Florida.
Thank you, C-Lane. When we come back, we hear from you. It's your perfect time to join us on the show. If you don't know how to do that, well, let me tell you. You can email tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. If you want to be anonymous, put that right up on top of the email,
I'm so
anonymous.
glad you like your birthday gift.
Thank you.
And I won't say your name. If you would like to join us, I'd love to see a video or audio dispatch. Record yours over on thenewsjunkie.com. All right, got some interesting updates on things we've been talking about. Got to get to this songwriter that was in a plane crash and what actually happened there. We got jury duty on the way. We got a lot coming up, and it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
Traveling on the major roadways this afternoon, you're going to run into some slowdowns on I-4 heading through the city. Some familiar delays between the Beach Line and Osceola Parkway on Florida's Turnpike northbound before that Hancock Road exit. Traffic slowing down, constructions slowing down traffic on Florida's Turnpike northbound near that US 192 exit. No issues on the Beach Line or I-95. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Duke's Mayo. Duke's, it's got twang.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo. Duke's Mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Guys, it's time to do it this weekend. Treat yourself. Don't make your haircut be a chore. Don't let your Groupon account decide for you where you're going to get your haircut. Make the haircut the best part of your week. Treat yourself. It could just the moment you reset, recharge, and walk out sharp. That's what's waiting for you at Hammer Nails Grooming for Guys. Premium grooming services and a space built for men. They got the fully stocked bar waiting for you. Plus, their experts are waiting to give you the premium cut, the razor outline, the warm foam, the hot towels. Even a cold towel or two will work its way in there because they do not cut corners. They redefine the whole experience at Hammer and Nails. Treat yourself to men's grooming redefined. Locations in Oviedo, Winter Park, Winter Garden, and Windermere. Find them online at hammerandnailsgrooming.com.
The ultimate celebration of music.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is happening tonight and tomorrow.
live in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. 16 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
And listen live on the free iHeartRadio app.
Tonight and tomorrow night, starting at 10:30.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Overheard.
Hello. Yeah, I don't want that in the pool. Oh, we gotta get. Remind me to put acid in the pool. I don't want you to do it because it's really dangerous.
Do you need anything?
Nope. Thank you. Hey. Uncle Sean, have you ever been fined by the FCC? Why are you calling me Uncle Sean? No. I have not. I don't know about complaints. honestly, we're not supposed to share a lot of information about that sort of stuff. If you'll notice, the things that I'm most hesitant to discuss are things like the FCC, because they do have some authority over different radio stations, despite my feelings on that. And then how radio ratings are collected and dispersed to markets. And I try to be very, very, very careful about talking about those two things. Because talking about those two things, if you're me, is not like a, well, don't be a pussy. It's like, if I accidentally say too much about this topic, they can negate the entire station's ratings if they wanted to. If you talk too much about collecting the data, how it works, specifically referencing certain things, they can literally take all of the hard work that you've done to bring in the ratings that will make money come in for advertisements and get rid of it. So there's too many people whose livelihoods depend on this. I don't care. I'll say whatever I feel about any topic or any issue and really just leave it on the field at the end of the day. But stuff like that, it's like, I don't want to mess it up for everybody. 3 minutes and we're back. It's called Playa-Linda, not Playa-Linda. And it's a little terrifying. Playa-Linda Beach falls with the Merritt Island National Refuge and Canaveral National Seashore. The seashore is closed on the days of the rocket launches. Okay. Playa-Linda. Got it. 2 minutes. I got it. I won't make that mistake if I said something wrong. Playa-Linda. From here on out. Perfect.
I'm going to put you on now. See ya.
You don't like Uncle Sean? It's hilarious. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't know where that came from or comes from, I should say. Cousin It? No. Folks, we have less than 2 hours left in the show and the week. I hope you had an enjoyable time. It's been a wild couple of weeks. There's been a lot of pretty intense, crazy shit happening. As per usual, I've tried to navigate it the best I can. My goal is to make it so anybody who's listening feels like they're represented in some way on the show and that they're not being given the big giant middle finger. Even when these are controversial, sometimes political topics. I think there has been far, far, far too much of that. Where people just say, like, I'll throw out this, like, half of the fucking country. I don't care about your opinion, I'm going to demonize you. I don't want to do that. I want to be fair about things, and I want to treat you like a human with a different opinion. Now, sometimes your opinion's not good, but we'll handle those on a individual basis. Sean is the Uncle Luke of radio? Uncle Luke is just old now. All right, here we go. Oh. Jimmy Kimmel's people are pushing back. I'll give you this new info in a second here, all right?
Let's go! The NFL is off to a wild start.
Touchdown pass number 508 for Aaron Rodgers.
And the new season lives on iHeartRadio.
Touchdown Denver!
Local stations bring you the action live.
Touchdown Chargers!
Plus, fantasy advice and expert analysis with the official NFL Podcast Network.
Everything you love about football is on the iHeartRadio app.
That's a jet touchdown!
Just search NFL to dive in.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
We'll also hear from you. This show's all about you as well. And if you're listening going, well, I feel differently about this, or hell yeah, I agree 100%, that's always fine and welcome. Tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com. Speaking of tips at thenewsjunkie.com, an email coming in from, we'll say Mr. K. And it says, oh, this is about Jimmy Kimmel. Big shocker. That's the news story everybody's talking about. Hi, Sean. I think a lot of people got it wrong with Kimmel. Okay. I can understand how it was taken wrong, but he wasn't implying the murderer was MAGA. He was pointing out about how hard the MAGA people were trying to paint him as not MAGA. It's hard to unwind those two for me, but I understand what you're saying. Since when the show aired, it was already known he was leaning left at the time by interviews with his parents. We knew that he was in a relationship with his roommate who was trans, which would not align with MAGA. I just think people took his comments way out of context. I think the reason why there was pushback was because there was legitimately 100% a concerted effort to do exactly what it seemed like he was doing the weekend before. There was a concerted effort by activists online to be like, hey, that dude who pulled the trigger and killed Charlie Kirk, actually, he was Republican. Actually, this. Actually, MAGA. 1,000% there was an active campaign to try to do that and 180 this guy's motivations. And then the Monday after, then Jimmy Kimmel says this. That's why I think some people were reacting that way.
I mean, both things can be true. I mean, you think this would be better for Kimmel if he had said that the killer was left-leaning and then also said that the MAGA people were bending over backwards trying to point the finger off of them?
I don't know. I mean, I know this. I know what could he have possibly, with a rational mind, expected? Jimmy Kimmel should not be surprised that Republicans don't necessarily like him.
Sure.
Right.
And probably don't watch his show all that much. I imagine he gets the numbers back.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I think if you're in this business and you consistently talk down about some demographic or some political party or some whatever, you should not be surprised at the end of the day if those people don't necessarily like you. Why would they? You're constantly trashing them. Why would they rush to your defense?
Or MAGA?
Yeah. Well, I
now,
think one and
mind
the
you,
same.
some are, but there are also Republicans that don't identify as MAGA.
I think Jimmy Kimmel dislikes all things to do at the moment with the Republican Party, and that's fine. But I think that he trashes people, and if you're a person who is a Republican, you probably don't feel like Jimmy Kimmel cares all that much about you, right? Because this is constantly making you the butt of jokes, et cetera, et cetera. Again, it's all fine. It's all fine.
I mean, I'm not, and I don't think Jimmy Kimmel cares that much about me.
More so you than the people he disagrees with politically. I think you and him might be more in alignment, but in this case, I feel like you shouldn't be surprised that maybe those people who are often the target of your ire are not necessarily running to your defense, right? When things start to go wrong, that shouldn't surprise you.
Yeah, and I mean, in that sense, and I am just like throwing this out there, would it be surprising that a lot of people said the same about Charlie Kirk? Mind you, I'm saying what happened to him is absolutely horrendous, and no one should ever be shot and murdered, not only in front of thousands of people, but just all together, especially that way. But the same could be said about what Charlie Kirk was, his rhetoric.
I just think there's a gulf, whether it be the Gulf of America or the Gulf of Mexico, a gulf very, very, very wide between you got suspended over some comments and you got your throat blown out by a sniper.
Oh,
the gulf between those is so large that I think
very
it's
large. But now we're talking more about Kimmel than the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk.
I'm not tying it together. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I don't understand the specific point that you're trying to make. Are you saying that Charlie Kirk shouldn't be surprised that there were people who didn't exactly celebrate him in his death? Because
I'm just saying in the sense of I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that just like a lot of Republicans, or perhaps even those that would identify as like big Trumpies, MAGA folk, don't want to be lumped in on acts of one person. I think the same would be said for those that are Democrats and not or like super extreme liberal left. We are finding ourselves in these like immediately have to attest to what other people are saying on the extreme side because that's what the other side is assuming that everyone's lumped into. I know that was like a lot of words in one.
I didn't understand the last part, but
like,
the other part I would say from my perspective, I go, I don't care if somebody just said, I'm not going to grieve this person, or if somebody said, I actually didn't agree with this person. I actually don't think they should do all these events where they're building. I don't care about any of those things. I don't think people should be forced to like say something nice about somebody after they died.
Right.
But the issue is in the hold on. The issue is in the things that I was putting a spotlight on myself was people who are grave dancing and actively celebrating the murder of somebody because they disagreed with him. And I think no matter where that happens on the political line, political violence is unquestionably bad and disgusting and terrible in every way. And so those are the things that I in particular found to be so repulsive about that. And even some of that came down to like just like assimilating like here's actually the worst stuff that this person said in the wake of their death. It very much fits in the same bucket sometimes. You could to bring it back to George Floyd. If George Floyd is killed by somebody in an interaction with a police officer, and then afterwards, you're not talking about that at all, but you're just saying, well, here's all the other times previously he was arrested for this and this and this and then this. It seems like you're justifying the fact that that person died because of the other things. That's the way it comes across to me, and I think maybe some other people, and I think that's what we were seeing here.
But what you said about like nobody should be forced to say anything nice or I think anything at all. I don't think there should be this like need to make it about you or to comment when stuff like tragic things like this happen. And so like early on you had noted that the people were like, well, you guys didn't say anything about Charlie Kirk, but now you're really mad about Jimmy Kimmel. I was like, I said something about Jimmy Kimmel, but I didn't feel the need to say anything about Charlie Kirk. I don't post thoughts and prayers posts.
I heard C-Lane mention the name Charlie Kirk precisely 0 times in my life before all of this. So I don't even know that. I don't even know how much he was even on your radar
for that and lifetime quota. Name.
I knew who he was because of South Park.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I think we did actually talk about it because of that specific reason. We did talk,
absolutely,
but not in a political way or anything.
No.
Just staying away from that.
I don't go to college.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's how I center things. And then I go, well, when Jimmy Kimmel is on the back heel and he's facing some pressure, I wouldn't expect Republicans to necessarily go like, oh, let me rush to your defense. Even though, by the way, I've seen quite a few of them do it. I've seen quite a few of them go, hey, this is bad. It's bad when they do it, and it's bad when we do it. We shouldn't be hypocritical.
Which is good.
And we should stay consistent. And that's all I want from everybody. I want everybody to be consistent. And we could call all the other people who don't want to be consistent, we can call them retarded. And then that will like sort of iron everything out.
I thought for sure you would go one show without saying that word. No. Here we go. Bringing it back, baby.
You know who's
sorry to hurt your feelings.
You know who's really upset about the Jimmy Kimmel thing?
Who?
The small town of Dildo, Newfoundland. Because he did a bunch of stuff about them on his show, so they named him honorary mayor. And now they're like, oh, we're so upset. The town of Dildo.
They got enough issues.
There's no
over
dildo
there.
in the United States of America.
Well,
go to a sports game.
You see a couple of varying colors just tossed out there. Anyhow, thank you for the email, Mr. K. Let's toss this in there to get a little more perspective on things very quickly. I wanted to just bring this up because there's another angle on what happened behind the scenes. This one is from the Hollywood Reporter. I read the Wall Street Journal earlier. This says a source at Jimmy Kimmel Live counters to the Hollywood Reporter that Kimmel's planned on-air address was not, quote, making it worse. So Kimmel's people are like, no, we don't think he was going to make it worse. That's what ABC and Disney said, but they're saying we don't think it was. But he wasn't going to kowtow to the outrage. So it seems still that he wasn't planning on rolling things back. Kimmel was, quote, defending what he said as being grossly mischaracterized by a certain group of people. That's one of the show staffers saying. THR reported on Wednesday that Kimmel did not plan to apologize for his comments, but did plan to address the situation on air. Talks between Kimmel and Disney and ABC hit enough of a stalemate that executives decided Wednesday had run out of time to be salvaged, and 66 of the roughly 200 affiliate stations had said they would not carry the episode. So they said this was a last resort, and it was a very heavy, hard day inside the walls of Disney and ABC. That's a little more perspective from like Jimmy Kimmel's people. His staff is saying like we're saying.
I'm surprised we have not heard from him yet.
He was visiting his attorneys last I heard. So, you know, he might be just kind of staying off of the radar for right now.
He has uploaded his contract to ChatGPT and is now asking questions about his recourse.
Can I say this? Can I say this?
That's a great idea, Jimmy. But let's try something new that's a little bit more your point of view.
Yeah, I think he's going to be just fine, as will Stephen Colbert. All these people will go on to do something different. They have a large audience.
They're going to grow beards for sure.
Oh, no, the Letterman thing's taken. They can't do the Letterman thing. They got to find something new.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and hear from you. What are your thoughts on all of this? I always want to make sure everybody gets their opinion out there, whether I agree with it or not. So send that over, recorded dispatch or video or audio dispatch over on the website. That's thenewsjunkie.com. Or alternatively, fire off an email, and we'll get into some of those in a bit. Tips, TIPS, @thenewsjunkie.com. All right. When we come back, jury duty. I'm not sure if Moses DeWitt will be joining us.
He hasn't texted me.
Yeah, possibly he might be joining us on the show. We'll see. And we'll talk about, outside of jury duty, this singer-songwriter in a plane crash. And then, as promised earlier, the person who was arrested for that wrestling ring attack has been arrested. That'll be inside jury duty, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Fairwinds Credit Union.
We'll start with football, where UCF's returning from their bye week, and they'll host Bill Belichick in North Carolina tomorrow. The Knights are eyeing a 3-0 start to their season. Week 4 of the college football season also features Florida looking to upset 6th-ranked Miami, while number 9 Florida State, they host Kent State. And Dodgers left-hander Clayton Kershaw is going to retire after this season. He's won 2 World Series and 3 Cy Youngs over 18 years. I'm Scott Davidson.
Fairwinds Credit Union. Whether you need personal or business accounts to help you reach your goals, they've got you covered. Visit fairwinds.org to join their community of financial freedom seekers today. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
Folks, we live in Central Florida, and there is a place that is going to help you out. They are going to be employing local people here because they're locally owned and operated and family owned and operated. And they are the one air conditioning company that is going to do right by you. They will have your AC up and working faster than anybody else, better than anybody else, and the price will be as you wish. Well, not just free for anybody, but obviously they're not going to try to take advantage of you. So if it's a cheap part, it's a cheap part, and Mills Air has you back up in action. Give them a call to get your AC fixed or to get preventative maintenance, 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Sometimes injuries that may seem minor today affect you for the rest of your life. Not all injuries are visible. I've seen it too many times. A client hires the wrong attorney who just wants to get fast cash. You've already gotten hurt in the accident. Don't get hurt again. Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com or give me a call at 1-800-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Office, Orlando.
It's the final days of the summer sales event at Greenway Kia. Every new Kia is discounted thousands off MSRP, and 0% financing is available. With 3 locations and one of the area's largest inventories, we deliver the selection and savings other dealers can't match. Our friendly, non-commissioned sales team is here to guide you, never pressure you. Stop by one of our 3 area locations or visit greenwaykias.com. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Example stock number TG0074443.
Negative equity refinance expires 10/7/25.
Orlando, we're here to let you know that FAS Exteriors is Orlando's #1 window, door, and roofing contractor. You can count on fair pricing, install perfection, and customer satisfaction every time. Trust the leader. Trust FAS Exteriors. Schedule your free consultation now at FASWD.com.
Saturday, September 27th, take your shot at the $100,000 guaranteed prize pool in the fall cash out at Orange City Poker. This event features a $500 buy-in and $40,000.
Hey, everybody. Whoa. Whoa. I just watched a clip from a documentary we talked about watching this weekend called Whose Name or something? In Whose Name, which is about Kanye West. Some guy's been following him around through all this stuff and been filming behind the scenes and like put together this thing. And it's a scene of Kanye West and Kris Jenner, and there's like a breakdown between the two of them. Holy cow. Yikes. Somebody needs to dart that man with medication. That would have solved this problem a long time ago. ONRS says you must not have been around when George Floyd was murdered. There was all sorts of cheering from the right. Yeah, there was some. I mean, there was like, you're talking about multiple different things. If you mean right after George Floyd, the video came out, and right after George Floyd died, yes, there was some initial pushback, like F around and find out and all that kind of stuff. Then when the riots started to break out, in the summer after the George Floyd video, a lot of people turned on that whole movement. A lot of people pointed out that George Floyd is not a very good guy, or wasn't a good guy before this, and we're putting him in a gold coffin with politicians crying at his casket, and we're building statues of him and stuff. There was more of a backlash, I think, afterwards. Not to say there wasn't some initial. It's kind of hard to remember. It's hard for me to separate the two. But there was definitely some. 45 seconds, we're coming back. That was quick. What the hell happened there?
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your brand order.
Here we go.
Terms apply.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassy's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
We'll see what you got on your mind. Your dispatches are coming into the studio as always. Send yours with your thoughts on what we're talking about and what we're not talking about at thenewsjunkie.com. You might not know the name Brett James, but unfortunately, he was among 3 killed in a small plane crash in North Carolina this week. And you might know a lot of his songs because he's credited with writing hundreds of songs that you may have heard over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Singer-songwriter from the Nashville area, I think. But he wrote Jesus Take the Wheel from Carrie Underwood. I don't know that I know that all that well.
Yeah, Jesus Take the Wheel. So basically, she's driving her kid in the car.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, the road's very slick. The car starts to fishtail, and she, at that moment, decided to close her eyes and put her hands in a praying position and ask Jesus to just take the wheel.
That was a number 1 hit. That song. That was big.
And that same car, she dug her keys right into the side and of the car.
Pretty little souped up 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I remember, yeah. He wrote a lot of songs for people like Faith Hill, Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, Jason Aldean, Jessica Andrews, Martina McBride, on and on and on. Some songs that you might know. Oh, actually, Uncle Cracker. He wrote an Uncle Cracker song.
His list of songs written by him has its own Wikipedia page.
Does
which
it
is
really?
pretty impressive.
Kelly Clarkson songs, Backstreet Boys, Bon Jovi. And he wrote I Love You This Big by Scotty McCreery of American Idol fame. That one I do not know. But yeah, it says he was killed in an airplane crash this week near Franklin, North Carolina at the age of 57. There was 2 other people on board. The plane had taken off from Nashville before crashing in a field in North Carolina. It was a Cirrus SR-22T. It's a very small plane. I'm looking at the private jet or plane. I wouldn't even call it a jet.
No, it's a
private plane.
single prop.
Yeah, a 4 or 5 seat plane that was registered to Brett James, crashed near an elementary school by the runway. And they said the plane's last recorded speed was 83 miles per hour. So I think it had slowed down quite a bit at that point in time. And unfortunately for him and those who knew, Brett James passed away in that crash this week. So there you go. Sorry for the information if you're just now hearing about your friend Brett James. Let's get into it. Here we go, friends. Hang on. Let me make sure this is ready and this is ready. And now let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Some big stories that we need to hit on in the courtroom and the legal world in a moment. But jury duty is brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. It's 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. One big story that kind of got pushed aside, Farrah Fawcetted, if you will, this week on account of either Charlie Kirk or Jimmy Kimmel, take your pick, depending on what day it was. There was an unfortunate story about a man who ambushed police in Pennsylvania. Some of you may have seen. Matthew Ruth, a 24-year-old, they wanted him on a stalking claim on an ex-girlfriend of his, and the police showed up to this guy's house, and they were going to rush in, and he ambushed them like he was ready to go. So he killed 3 people and injured 2 others, and one of the worst attacks on police in Pennsylvania in decades, they said. They were there to arrest Ruth on multiple charges related to a reported stalking incident. 3 officers were fatally shot and killed. 2 were injured. They remain in critical condition, but they are stable critical. They didn't expect anything was going to go this wrong. But this guy was pretty explosive, and he had an AR-15 style rifle, barricaded himself in the house, waited for the cops to come in, and then just started blasting. Unfortunately, some of them caught in the crossfire there.
I was going to say, it seems statistically not good to have the name Ruth, but it's different spellings than the other guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this guy, honestly, Matthew Ruth, in his case, I saw one press conference and I saw like a couple of headlines on the front pages, but it didn't get as much attention as the other much bigger stories this week, obviously.
Well, the Volusia County, it was Volusia, no, Edgewater. The
other guy that ambushed the cop.
Yeah, just like execution style.
Yeah.
No words exchanged.
So weird. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's very bizarre.
There's a lot of stuff like that you see and you wonder, like, these don't seem like they were targeted because they were police. It seems more like the guy just was at the end of his rope and he had a stalker thing going on and he just was going to go out with his guns blazing. You know what I mean? Versus like, I don't think this person was like, I'm gonna target the cops because I'm with this political movement or something.
No, the one that Sabrina's talking about was like the guy targeted that specific cop.
Yeah.
And like,
what was
the gun that day?
What was the history between the two of them? Do you know?
I don't know, but he knew, I mean, clearly knew the guy because he was off duty. He was in civilian clothing, was he not?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do believe that he was driving his patrol car. But it was like the cop walked in, the guy saw him, walked to his truck or car, came back with a gun, and shot him in the back of the head.
Let's
and then
pull up a story if we're going to talk
unloaded
about
his
it.
clip.
If we're going to talk about it, let's pull up a story that on that officer. Sealand, see if you can bring that up just real quick while I talk about this.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Suspect fired 24 shots in 2 minutes. Accused of shooting and killing Edgewater police officer David Jewell at point-blank range inside a Circle K in Ormond by the Sea. Fired nearly 24 bullets in less than 2 minutes, according to Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood.
Jesus Christ.
To watch the evil and the calculatingness is a direct quote. Evil and calculatingness of what he did to Officer Jewell. You cannot describe it. To unload, stop, reload, and then just go right back at it again and fire additional shots from probably 1 to 2 feet away.
That sounds to me like another very personal thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, not targeted because of like some sort of political thing, but a very personal thing. And over to the story I was mentioning earlier, Raja Jackson. He is the son of Rampage Jackson, the UFC legend. He was at a wrestling match, and they were playing back and forth. And when he got called into the ring to do a bit, he just ended up pummeling this guy, one of the wrestlers, so bad that he had to go to the hospital. He nearly died because he was knocked unconscious. Psycho Stu, or Stuart Smith, is now out and I think doing okay. But Raja Jackson was finally booked on a felony charge of battery with serious bodily injury. Now, the interesting thing about this is going to be one question. A lot of people were telling me, Sean, there won't be any charges against this guy because the wrestlers don't want to take part in this, and they don't want to, be a reason for him going to jail. I said then, and it remains true, you don't need that person. You don't need the person who was attacked necessarily to have charges against him. It just makes it a hell of a lot easier. I wonder if this Psycho Stu guy is going to be participating in the case against him. That'll be interesting to see. All right, we want to see what you think about this or anything else. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Okay, when we come back, we'll talk about what's happening with the tropical storm that's out there in the Atlantic. We'll get the latest on all the stories we've talked about this week, and we'll get your feedback in the final power hour of the week. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
There's a crash block in the right lane on I-4 eastbound approaching that Lake Mary Rest area. Westbound lanes are taking a peek, causing some delays. On I-4, you're going to run into some familiar slowdowns between Sand Lake Road and Osceola Parkway on Florida's Turnpike between Hancock Road and Oakland Exchange. There's some slowdowns there as well. Afternoon traffic starting to pile up on the roadways. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders.
Eli Manning here. There's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. There's something about those soft, fluffy, irresistible King's Hawaiian Sliders that make them a winner on game day. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. King's Hawaiian. There's nothing like it.
You looked at your power bill lately and seen the price. It's going up and up. It seems like now's the time of year where that happens. Imagine instead of just handing over money to the power company every month, you could take control of your energy. That's where Solar Installers of Florida come in. You call them up, they're going to design and install a solar system built for your home and tailored towards your energy needs, and they'll lock you in with lower costs and enjoy predictable bills for years to come. You start saving on day one. And right now, the federal tax credits make that switch more affordable than ever before, but that's not going to last super long. That is going away at the end of the year, so stop waiting. Stop dreading that next power bill and start looking forward to energy freedom. Call Solar Installers of Florida today. Get a free quote. Call 407-777-5050. Tell them C-Lane from the News Junkie sent you. You'll save $500 off that quote. 407-777-5050 or find them online at solarinstallersoflorida.com.
Save every day at Headquarter Hyundai. We've dropped prices on acres of new Hyundais. Visit headquarterhyundai.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning, now using AI.
My AC stopped working.
Here's a random penguin fact.
No, I need cold air now.
Penguins mate for life.
I should have called Frank Gay.
Would you like to mate for life?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your home's air conditioning breaks down, you can count on our repairs to work for you for the long haul.
What? What? Breaking news. Breaking news. Hang on. Some breaking news. Important to 3 of you. McDonald's has just announced Monopoly is coming back in October, baby. McDonald's Monopoly is coming back in October, baby. It's happening. Big news. Which means that you'll get like Park Place and think all I need is Boardwalk to win this great prize. All I gotta do is keep getting some large fries. That has to be one of the most successful campaigns. I remember everybody being roped into that at the time. Like, that was such a big deal back in the day. Marla's unimpressed. Cat Butthole says, I won 3 orders of fries in the 90s. I get to collect those greasy little stickers again. It was such a fun time, man. That was a game that was like, I would literally go to McDonald's when I didn't really feel like going to McDonald's just to get a couple of pieces. It must have made them dozens of dollars. Remember the documentary? Yes. We had some of the people involved in that on the show years and years ago. And that whole thing was fun and interesting. But even aside from like the scam and the controversy, just the overall game was a social phenomenon that I would compare to like a smaller version of Pokemon Go or something. You remember when Pepsi advertised you could get a fighter jet and some guy actually bought enough Pepsi and they still didn't give him the fighter jet? There's a documentary about that too. A lot of documentaries. You know why? Because people love to gamble. Can I tell you, watching Black Rabbit, the new show on Netflix, 2.5 minutes. Watching Black Rabbit with Jason Bateman, one thing that is really hard for me to connect with is I am personally not a gambling addict at all. Like if you were looking at my stats on things, Sean, says this. If it was like gambling addiction, not high at all. Don't like teens out of 100 or something. If it was road rage, teens out of 100, like at the bottom of the meter. So it's a little hard for me to connect with a character who like just keeps putting it all on the line and risking, and I'm like, what are you doing? I don't have that in me. You've apparently never gambled on table tennis? Not yet. Maybe that's the one that like reels me in. I was hoping you were going to say the McRib is back. Sorry to break the news to you, but that's not it. My parents were addicted to the game. We stopped at almost every McDonald's on a 3-hour trip to Grandma's. It was so big, man. It was like, you'd go, all right, I'm hungry, I could eat. I'll have some fries. Ooh, the fries have like 2 little peel-off things. I'll get a large drink. I peel off the thing. And it was physical too, Like there was an actual, not like a QR code, or it was like a physical puzzle piece that you got to get. Love it.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer. Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next drop at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. Coming to you live from the... Let's go!
Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next truck at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
There's always enough time for you to join us on the show. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Some news just coming in moments ago. Big for 4 of you. Everybody else will be nonplussed. They will not care at all. But McDonald's has announced that the Monopoly game will return in October of this year. That's right. They're giving us a distraction. They're saying, bring it back, baby. It's happening. We're bringing back the Monopoly game in October of 2025. And I was trying to go through that, like, not just with the scam thing. We had the whole interview on the show long time ago, which was interesting. Go back in the News Junkie interviews if you want to hear that. But I was trying
to... It usually plays one of the days during the holiday break, you know?
Does it? Yeah. It was good chat. Very interesting. But more so than that, the McDonald's Monopoly thing was so interesting to me because it would make all kinds of people who didn't even care about going to McDonald's go to McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be like, I just want another chance. I got Park Place, and all I need is Boardwalk.
And you get
so
close. So often.
Because each one would be like, you know how they have like the colored strips on the Monopoly board, like Marvin Gardens, and then the other ones that like match up. Mm-hmm. 2 of the 3 would be
very easy to get.
Yeah. And you'd get them and you go, woohoo, all right, 2 of the 3. And one more and I get a Corvette.
And this will, when I explain this, will be a sign of the times. But when I first experienced Monopoly at McDonald's, and I did not know that that's how, you know, some of these contests rope you in. You know, I just thought, wow, I got the 1, I got the 2, all I need is the 3rd one, and I'll get the Game Gear.
Never got that Game Gear.
Never got the Game Gear, no.
What kind of gear was involved in the Game Gear?
The Game Gear... It was a handheld video game thing. It was awesome.
It was Sega's answer to the Game Boy. It had a color screen.
Oh, I thought it was gear you wear while you game.
No. It sounds like it, but no.
Like a jacket or helmet, knee pads.
No.
All of these prizes brought everybody out of the woodwork, and your grandma and your aunt and your uncle and everybody in between would be wanting to participate. And McDonald's is bringing that back this October for those of you, all 5 of you who are interested in it.
I also look back on it. I think I told you guys this before. You know, I'd be like asking friends, like, hey, if you find, you know, Oriental Avenue or whatever it was that I was looking for to get my Game Gear, you know, could you give me a heads up? Could you find it? You know, hold it for me. And this guy I knew, this guy I was in karate with, was like, yeah. And I just need Park Place. And I was like, all right, cool.
We're both so close to hitting this.
I'm looking back on it. I'm trying to get him to help me get a Game Gear, and he wants me to help him get $1 million. What an idiot was I?
No problem.
Yeah. It was not a fair and balanced trade going on between the 2 of you.
Nope.
But that's how it often works. The kid economy, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense sometimes. What you're trading back and forth. See, you're so close to the point in time, which is a glorious one, where if somebody gave your son Jackson like a $20 bill, you could do the old trick where you're like, sure, you can have that $20 bill, or look at this coin that I'll give you. I'll trade you. I'll do you the favor.
No, you say, how would you like to have 3 5s instead?
I know you like that, but don't you like, you know, I wouldn't even give him 3
5s. Look at how
5s.
much money this is.
I'd really lowball the kid. The kid economies are so easy to exploit. It's unbelievable.
And the gifts don't even have to be that expensive.
Yeah.
No.
There are some big warehouses that agree with you.
Let's see. Here is I'm not going to put that on. Let me skip past this because some emails coming in. DJ says the key word in the Jimmy Kimmel suspension story. And he says, just hearing Sinclair Media clears everything up. Sinclair is extremely MAGA corporate entity owning hundreds of TV stations that no doubt was just drooling at the chance to whack Kimmel for his Trump jokes. I worked 7 years for an Arizona affiliate of the similarly slanted Salem radio network. Blah, blah, blah. And he's comparing those two, says DJ. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you kind of froth a bit at this because these are the outliers, okay? It's like, and I think that's where there's a frustration level with a lot of right of center people where they'll be like, hey, you're going like, I can't believe this right-wing media owner. And you go, oh, okay, so let's stack that up and let's compare it to all of the things that aim in the other direction politically. And it's not a very close call. You know, it's still a very one-sided enterprise. And I think that's why there's such a temptation to try to shake it up with intimidating people and intimidating people with the FCC and intimidating them over commentary on political matters, whether you agree with it or not. That's why there's such a temptation, because there's a deep-rooted feeling of unfairness and a lack of representation in a lot of the media and a lot of stuff certainly that comes out of Hollywood. That's why there's many, many people who are kind of looking for blood here. And the opportunity that they have.
I mean, it's just so interesting. Like, I once again, why are we in this vicious cycle? If we want to be the bigger people and mend this divisiveness, it's just all I hear over and over again is like, well, you did it, so I'm going to do it now. Well, you guys did it, so I'm going to do it now.
Think about this for a moment. You're viewing it from that angle. Imagine you are a right-leaning voter. Okay. Imagine you're in that world and you're a right-leaning voter. And for like the last 2 decades, 15 years maybe or so, you have seen people get canceled for all sorts of right-leaning opinions. And it almost was always the target of like cancel culture stuff was anything that was right-leaning. So much so that you maybe didn't even feel like you could voice your opinion about certain things in public or on social media in some cases even. And then you get down the road and Jimmy Kimmel gets indefinitely suspended by ABC, and you might not even agree with it. But the other people who you saw as against you this entire time, and you saw as very willing to cancel anybody that disagreed with you at all of a sudden we're now clutching their pearls at the very same situation you think you've faced hundreds of times. That is where these people are coming from, in my estimation. I try to translate between the groups because
I hear that, but I'm not like a super left leaning. Like I am going to call for blood in the other sense, and I haven't been. I think when things got to be very politically heightened, that I would be assumed to be extremely left leaning. But I've certainly not called for blood for anybody in the history of our show, at least.
Well, I don't think anybody's saying that you're calling for blood.
No, I'm not. But you're in the way that you're explaining it to me, and those of you that are listening right now. I mean, I would like to, at least since both of us are talking about it, explain in that sense. Now I ask you this, Sean, in the explaining of that, all the people that were canceled back then in the right leaning, where are they now?
It depends.
Who is still not like recouped their career or found themselves elsewhere?
I don't even know if that Gina Carano woman has recouped her career to keep the focus on that person.
She's trying. I thought the Gina Carano thing was pretty dumb. I didn't see everything that she posted. I know one of the things they were mad about was some trans-related things, but one of the ones that they were mad about that I thought, well, this is dumb. She put her pronouns on her Twitter page as beep boop. Like from R2-D2, because she was a Star Wars character.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's not that offensive. But there were some other things that pissed people off. I thought I was pissed she got fired because I thought she did really good at her job. She was a good important piece of that.
But she was fired after the product already came out, did it not? Or like, so she was not involved in the next season?
That's from what I heard, they had a whole planned spinoff involving her character, and they were she was like a decent sized part, I guess, of this. And because she came out with some opinions at that time that were right of center, and it was like mob central, everybody was going for the next thing that you could get a scalp for. They went after her, and Disney backed off, the corporation that's still at the heart of, the Jimmy Kimmel thing as well. They threw her under the bus full-fledged because she didn't have the right political opinions, and her career got upended as a result of it.
It all seems like it comes down to money. Yeah, people are going to say that this is like either an issue of free speech or that it's revenge for what the other side did many years ago. Because I always think about like when the DeSantis stuff came into play a couple years ago, where it was the don't say, gay bill. That was not the actual name of the bill. And Disney refused to back down. Something. Then Ron DeSantis decided that they were not going to be their own city anymore. All of this, it's a lot going on. But they didn't back down. And then you see the bigger boss and the threat of money that is being lost is when they make this move that is now taken away from the actual murder and the person who did the murdering in the mainstream media.
I think Disney might also notice a cultural shift going on too, where there are a lot of people who are moving from the positions that they previously held a little more to the right in this country. I think they might have noticed that and maybe said maybe we shouldn't.
Outspoken though?
Well, I think a lot of those people are still kind of hesitant to be outspoken about things. I'm just saying this from a perspective of somebody who wants no hypocrisy in these issues. I hated when that was going on. I didn't like that. I think that was bad. I think if you have somebody that disagrees with you on, I don't care what the issue is, the issue of the moment, I don't think that you should be going after those people and the whole cancellation thing shouldn't happen. I similarly feel the same way about some of what's happening now, although the grave dancing thing I think is beyond the pale, but I feel the same way about some of what's happening right now. And I think it is hypocritical. I'm just trying to be a translator here between sides and tell you that Republicans are probably like, why are we playing by the set of rules that you don't play by? You didn't want to play by these rules. You wanted to take all these people, like when Joe Rogan talked about something during the pandemic, all the employees at Spotify trying to get his content yanked and everybody going after him.
Yanked.
Yeah, they tried their damnedest, but he was worth too much money to Spotify. The point is, they are not principled in the slightest on free speech until it is their person that is the target of the campaign. That's where people get upset about that hypocrisy and even turn their back on their own words. I am trying not to do that. I'm saying it's bad when people do this to begin with. Those guys wouldn't have had a job for a whole lot longer in the late night world, in my opinion, anyway. But here we are. Okay, quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you, perhaps. Maybe you have a comment and you want to join us on the show. Send us a dispatch or an email, tips, TIPS, at thenewsjunkie.com.
Really quick,
go ahead.
On the Gina Carano front, you know who, when she sued Lucasfilm over her firing, you know who funded it?
Was it Elon Musk?
Yep, we talked about it earlier this week. It was back when Elon was telling people, like, if you lose your job from something you post on X, he's I will fund it, no limit.
Right, and there it is. That's obvious hypocrisy. I've seen that as much as everybody else has seen it. But a lot of the people that are calling out the hypocrisy didn't care on the other side of the dime. That's the thing. Nobody really seems to care about actual speech. Nobody seems to care about anything other than like when it happens to their team. That's what I have an issue with. And I there's no fixing that in the short term, though I wish there was, because I think we'd all be better off if we embraced debate instead of shooting people, or even on a much, 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 much lighter level on indefinitely suspending them for some comments that they made. But disagree, agree, that's all fine. We'll work that in before the end of the show. We'll have a little fun in the next segment here on a Friday and see what's happening out there as a distraction and get into more of your emails. All of that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash getting cleared up on I-4 eastbound approaching that Longwood Lake Mary rest area. Westbound lanes are taking a peak, causing some delays as well. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency vehicles on the roadways. On Florida's Turnpike, there's some slowdowns between Hancock Road and Oakland Exchange. The roadways are getting busy this afternoon. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Duke's Mayo. Duke's, it's got twang.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about Duke's Mayo. Says here it's got twang. That sounds good. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Did you know that mortgage guy Don also offers HELOCs? That's right, home equity lines of credit. A way to unlock your equity while keeping your super low 2, 3, or 4% rate intact on the first mortgage. Get cash out for home improvements, debt consolidation, weddings, back taxes, fun gifts for your friends.
Hello, everybody. Stand by.
Expert and a friend that you can trust. Go to thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Go, Mike. Activated. Let me chat during the commercials. A new post coming in from the one and only Conan O'Brien. The suspension of Jimmy Kimmel and the promise of silence other late night hosts for criticizing the administration should disturb everybody on the right, left, and center. It's wrong, and anybody with a conscience knows it's wrong. That's Conan O'Brien chiming in. I do think it's worth pointing out that I've seen multiple people, like Patton Oswalt, who was like, "This is fascism," and he's like, completely reeing out and freaking out over Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. And then if you look back in their posts, they didn't say jack shit about a man getting fucking blasted in the throat. And if you said nothing, like if you couldn't condemn that, if you said nothing about that, and then afterwards you've got 15 posts, a bunch of stories, comments nonstop, all about how horrific the assault on free speech is against Jimmy Kimmel, think about how that looks, all right? Because I think I see a little bit of that happening. Okay? Question. And I know you guys are going to get mad at me before I even say this, but too bad. I'm not a magician, okay? I don't have these evil powers either that you think I have. So talking about things doesn't bring them into being. We haven't had a single landfall of a tropical storm or a hurricane yet this season, right? Is that true? On either coast of the Gulf or anything. Is that true? We haven't had a single landfall of a tropical storm or a hurricane in the United States of America at all this hurricane season. I think that's right, right? Don't say we will now. I can't make it happen. I don't have this power. Knock on wood, I will. I do every time. I'm not going to bring it to fruition. But I'm just saying, we haven't had a single hurricane or tropical storm make landfall. This hasn't happened since 2013? Buddy, you can convince me of many things in chat, but if you're trying to say that hasn't happened since 2013, talking about a tropical storm or a hurricane making landfall, I know that's not true. Because I've lived through about double digits of them in that time. Sir, you're going to jinx us? I am not going to jinx you. I have no power over these storms. I did not turn on the hurricane magnet. Is it wrong to celebrate that things have been good? Doesn't this give you insight into the doomer mentality of Americans? That even suggesting that, hey guys, things are pretty good. We haven't had a tropical storm or a hurricane make landfall all year long, the whole hurricane season. And then instead of saying, you're right, Sean, that's great, everybody's like, no, there's going to be another one. You're going to bring it on. 90 seconds. Bootsy, I'm going to ignore that one as I go back to my seat. What is Frankie McDonald saying? That's an excellent question. That is an excellent question. Well, whoever he's saying it to is not an underage lady. I know that. Okay, here we go.
Powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching fever under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Hey, this is Matt Jones. I'm Drew Franklin, and this is NFL Cover Zero. We're just here to try to give you an NFL perspective a little bit different.
Did you see the Colts pretzel? That was my other big takeaway from that game.
What was that? Oh, my. We think NFL coverage should be informative and entertaining. And twice a week, that is exactly what you're going to get. Open up your free iHeartRadio app, search NFL Cover Zero with Matt Jones and Drew Franklin, and listen now.
Reese Impact windows are guaranteed for life and transferable when you sell. ReeseWindows.com.
The game of magnets, taking over the world one terrible person at a time.
The three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day, and you are now in the world's most viral newsroom. Learn more about the show at thenewsjunkie.com. I'll tell you, I think this is an indictment. An indictment of you, the listener of the show, an indictment of Americans in general. But I tried to say something nice right before this segment. I tried to share something nice with the folks who were tuned into the live stream. And
they didn't believe you.
All the Debbie Downers, you guys. Unbelievable. I tried to say, and this is factual, this is true, as far as I'm aware, I tried to say, so far, we've gone through the peak of hurricane season, and we haven't had a single hurricane or tropical storm make landfall. And everybody is so doomer-pilled and so negative-minded about everything these days that it's like, well, you're going to make it happen. You're going to bring that upon us. It's like, can't we just enjoy that we've had a nice little run here and there hasn't been any any hurricanes or tropical storms?
Tornadoes for that,
there's been tornadoes, I'm sure, but
you do have a history, though, Sean. I think it is also worth mentioning that you make a statement like that, or maybe you hire a voodoo lady on Etsy or Fiverr.
I'm not hiring
all of a sudden,
anybody.
Hurricanes do happen, so some people are skeptical.
I tried to scare away a hurricane one time, which seemed to work, other than the fact that it hit some other people, because it's got to go somewhere.
It just stopped over them.
Over the place that we love.
But it didn't hit the state of Florida in that case. It did not hit the state of Florida. Everybody gets so mad. They're like, knock on wood somewhere around there, Sean. I'm like, is this an indictment of us that we can't enjoy the good things? This is like us walking outside in the middle of the day, And I'll tell you who doesn't do this, Courtney. She did it this morning. She woke up, she opened the door, and she looked outside, and she goes, it is a beautiful day outside right now. You know what she didn't do? She didn't walk outside and say, oh, no, shut the door. It's really nice out there, so that means there's really bad weather coming afterwards. That's what we do. We're stealing this from ourselves. I want you to enjoy your life. Enjoy every moment that you have of it, because you never know when it's going to be ripped away from you in some horrible way. You don't know. So go out and enjoy yourself this weekend and revel in the idea that we haven't been hit with a hurricane or a tropical storm this year. Congratulations to us. I know they promised many. These weather nerds are often wrong.
Yeah, what's
about
up with
their
Gabrielle?
stuff. Gabrielle is like getting yanked off of the coast and going way up and staying away from everything.
I want to be
here.
like Gabrielle.
Not that. I said yanked
The
up.
yank or the coast?
No,
I
you
said
set off.
Yanked up is what it's pulling up. It's pulling out. It's pulling away from the United States of America. It's like there's a shield off the East Coast right now. And that shield is keeping us from these storms. And we can enjoy that. We can. I'm not jinxing you, Tammy, on YouTube. I'm just saying that we can embrace the good things that we have going on. Right? And there's lots of good things. C-Lane and Sabrina haven't been in a car accident in a long time. Wow. That seems like a good thing. Isn't that a good thing? That's great.
All righty.
I mean, I'll knock on wood if you need to, but like, can we appreciate that bad things haven't? No.
Oh. Well, then why didn't you say all three of us?
Yeah, Sean hasn't fallen down his stairs and was paralyzed recently, so.
Sorry for not making it about me and making it about you guys. I wanted to be decent about it and not try to include myself in the center of it. Which is why I was pointing out you guys. And I'm saying, isn't it great that you haven't been in a car accident in a long time?
I swear to God, if I get in a car
This is the problem. This is you guys are doing it. You're doing the thing.
Right.
This is the problem. We look at everything as the negative and you go, instead of embracing the fact that you haven't been in an accident in a long time, it's like, oh no, now I'm going to get in an accident. That's not how it works. Doesn't work like that. Everything's going to be fine. Now, what did you say? I'm going to fall down the stairs and
I
be
just
in a
said
wheelchair?
you haven't fallen down the stairs and been in a wheelchair for the rest of your life.
I might,
lately.
though. That one's more realistic than anything else because of the...
You're not good at stairs?
No, I still got that. I
haven't won the Powerball lately.
He's trying that.
Never works like that.
Manifest this. I'll tell you this. This is just a fact, all right? This is kind of embarrassing. But the other day we went somewhere and we were way up on the second floor and there was like a full flight of stairs to get us down. It's at Disney Springs, so it's like a big flight of stairs. And I thought, can I still do that thing where you go really fast down the stairs
You have
when
to
you're
have
young?
full concentration.
Yeah, and you just go like every foot perfectly hits the step. You go, and you go, and I wobbled a little bit, but I made it down. And when I walked away, I was like, yeah.
I had a close call where I was trying to do that, and then I misstepped, and I had to literally leap 4 stairs.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I was going to tumble down and be in a wheelchair for the rest of my
I ain't
life.
trying to play with fire with any of that stair stuff. I'm just going to go up and
What
go
happens
down
if there's a fire?
at a normal pace. At a normal pace. I'm not,
Live a little, C-Lane. Come on.
I fell over holding the baby at the beach. Luckily,
What do you mean?
luckily, Ashley had her back to me, so she didn't get to see. And even though I told
What
her,
about Jackson's face full of sand?
his face did not hit the dirt or the sand. But yeah, I'm not trying to mess around with fate here. Luckily, Ashley didn't see it, so even though I told her it happened, she can't fully make fun of me for it because she didn't, understand what it looked like.
Yeah, I got you.
I was still embarrassed.
But I have to tell you, it brings me back. I think I've told you guys the story of when I was in Boy Scouts. My little brother came along one time when we were doing the camping thing, and my dad, and Celine, you may do this with Jackson, your son, one day. My dad had my brother in his arms. My brother was, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years old or something. And my dad's doing the like an airplane thing. He's holding my brother's body and flying him around like an airplane. My dad's walking around this campsite, and he trips over the biggest tree root ever. And he went from airplaning my brother to literally accidentally throwing him into a tree. And my little brother is doing the airplane thing. My
George
dad
of the
hits
Jungle.
the root, and he flies into the tree right in front of him. And
There's
Well,
Harrison Ford in the cockpit there.
it's not great, yeah. So we can celebrate that we haven't done things like that. I haven't thrown a child in a very long time. And Celine hasn't had quite as long on the list of his child mistakes, but mostly things are going good.
I wouldn't call it a mistake, an accident, you know.
You're calling your child an accident?
No. That was very much a purpose.
Sounded like it for a second there.
Nice, man.
Anyhow, I wanted to take a second and embrace the good things that are going on out there. It's okay. It's not going to manifest bad by speaking of the good for just a moment. We have some good things, and I hope that you don't get into a car accident this weekend. I hope that you don't have anything bad happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hope only good things.
Should you be
with
injured,
that.
though,
Mm-hmm.
just call Mo.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, call our attorney, Moses DeWitt. JustCallMo.com.
Cosidius says your dad did a 9/11 to your brother.
Basically, yeah.
Too soon, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's 9:15,
Where do you
9:16, 9:17, 9:18. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We want to hear from you, though. So do send us a dispatcher an email to join us on the show today. You can do all of that over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Quick break. Final dispatches.
Hope we survive the break.
Stories that didn't make the cut. You've survived all these other breaks. You've survived and thrived through all these other breaks. I don't think you guys are going to have a heart attack. I don't think you guys...
I'm starting to palp up a little bit, gotta say.
Can you see on your watch? You got the Apple Watch there.
Oh, my God. It just jumped from 90 to 107 within that conversation.
High. That's a little high, but you're still young. You've got it under control. Celine's not young anymore. He's getting up there in the age.
3 years older than me.
I know, but look at him. It's really starting to hit him. See that? See the grays? See the grays coming in? You see the grays?
Now, what you talking about?
Got a few here.
A couple of grays coming in.
A little salt and pepper action coming soon.
Yeah. I took off my hat the other day, looked in the mirror, and I was like, ooh.
Gray City. I only have one gray.
Only one?
Same spot.
Yeah. Are you going to die when it does come in with a vengeance?
No. I don't. I
got to start
see more of
rephrasing
it.
that. Are you going to dye your hair? Second time
this week.
Notice how I didn't even notice it because it's not the first
well,
time
it was
you wished
in
death
context.
upon me.
I apologize. Are you going to dye your hair? If it, yeah.
Oh no, I don't think so.
I
don't
think
know.
you should.
I figured that there would be more than one at this point. So
well, it's one of the unfair things that men have as an advantage over women, that guys can pull off gray hair. I think personally better than women can pull off gray hair. I don't think it's as fair for women. Every once in a while, you'll get some woman with like a cool patch, and then you look kind of like a superhero.
like Storm from
That's cool, but
I almost said Four Seasons. That made some sense.
Nobody wants it to be full gray if you're a woman, and so yeah, I think it's more fine to dye your hair in that side of things.
I'll let you guys know. Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, we got to take a quick break. I'm
gonna
riveting
sit in
segment.
silence and see how. Get an Uber or something on the way home.
You're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fantastic. As a matter of fact, you know what I think is gonna happen for both of you?
What's that, Sean?
I think something great is going to happen to you this weekend, both of you. I think something surprising
I'm getting
and
late.
great.
I know that.
Well, that'll be one thing. But there's going to be another thing. There's going to be another surprising great thing that happens to you this weekend. When it happens, you're going to go, Sean was right about this. I should have been looking at the bright side.
And then I get in a car
and it's going to
accident.
win you. Come on. You're bringing it in negative again. Final dispatcher, stories that did make the cut today to wrap everything up for a Friday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, live tonight and tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Stream it only on Hulu and listen on the iHeartRadio app tonight and tomorrow night starting at 10:30. Sponsored locally by Rasmussen University.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Friday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we're actually going to be expecting a mostly dry day. We'll only see about a 10 to 20% chance of a very isolated shower or two. Otherwise, temperatures will be warming to near normal.
This report is, folks, thank you for an interesting week. Okay? An interesting week. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We got a whole nother week of shows. Another with an end. A whole week of shows coming up for you on Monday. Who knows what's next?
Storm is coming our way, and you will lose power 4 days. So you better get on the
didn't say any of that.
And get yourself that backup battery system along with.
All right, rate the show. Rate the show out of 10. 10 out of 10 is a humdinger.
Sweaty.
1 out of 10 is dog water.
Lights will stay on. Your fridge will stay on.
Where do we land today on the show between dog water at 1 out of 10 and humdinger at 10 out of 10?
Lower bills all year long.
We got an 8.
Solar installation and reliable backup.
Freaking crazy week. Wait till you see what comes at us next week, Kevin. 7.5. Cheers.
Keeps running, so don't wait until that storm is on the radar.
It isn't easy to keep your hair dyed. I dyed a few months ago. The roots are definitely showing. I know, that's the battle, right? Like, once you pop, you can't stop. I listened all day. 9.99 out of 10. 8.6. 11 out of 10. Thank you. What's in the middle? Hum water? Dog water on the low end. Humdinger on the high end. In the middle? Pretty good. That's what the middle is. 5.8. We'll take it. All your fault shot, 8 out of 10. 8.7 out of 10. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Now, who's chatter of the week? Get your nominees ready. I got to go get Today I Learned. I'll be right back. Busted. Caught you trying to go in my studio. Boys only. Today I learned, gathered. Who's our chatter of the week? Chatter of the week. You know what? It's an easy one. It's an easy one. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and let us salute our winner for Chatter of the Week by a wide margin, by a long shot. They said it couldn't be done. They said you couldn't do it. But you drizzled everywhere this week. Bootsy Moonshine on Twitch and YouTube. Our chatter of the week. A+ work. Really good stuff. Shouts out. Indeed, they said it couldn't be done, but here we are.
Plus, make no payments for 90 days when you finance from GM.
3 cheers for Bootsy.
With the Equinox EV or
The P. Pariah Queen, yeah.
0% financing for 6
Pariah Carey.
Costco executive and non-executive members will receive cash.
Is she paying me off? No. You know, when you drizzle that much, it just draws enough attention so that people want you to be Chatter of the Week. Drizzler in Chief. DIC.
You must finance with GM Financial. Some quantities are limited. Carl Black Chevrolet.
Is that week or day? That's week. On Friday, we crown our Chatter of the Week on Fridays.
Orlando.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey guys, it's Angel from the Monsters. You know I love cooking on my big green egg, and every time I get asked why, I tell you it's because it's an awesome experience. It's impressive. And
Gonna throw out a guess here. I'm going to throw out a guess. My guess is there will be an announcement this weekend. My guess is there'll be an announcement this weekend before Monday that says ABC affiliates come to some sort of agreement on the future of the Jimmy Kimmel Show. I think you'll have some sort of resolution on that this weekend. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a surprise. People are going to be like, what? I think it's in Jimmy Kimmel's interest to make a deal here. I don't know if they're going to go back on the donation stuff. I think he should absolutely go back and explain his statement a bit. I think he should legitimately maybe think about constantly just crapping all over one side of the aisle. But I think they'll come up with something. Okay, that's it, folks. It's been a good time. We'll see you on Monday. I'll see you before that with a video. Here we go.
COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The free iHeartRadio app makes your car radio jealous.
Live radio presets, lyrics for songs, and the most podcasts on the planet.
Plus, it all fits in your pocket.
Your car radio can't do that.
Make sure the free iHeartRadio app is on your smartphone now.
The #1 app for radio.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and today I learned to wrap everything up for a Friday and the weekend. Couple of quick notes here. One thing I want to start with is this. Thank you for hanging out with us, even if you only gave us a day, even if you gave us all week, even if you only gave us an hour, even if you disagree, even if you love this or that or whatever. Thank you for taking the time and listening to this show. I know there's a lot of other stuff out there. There's a lot in the world of content. And the fact that you hang out with us each day is much, much appreciated. So thank you for that. Thank you for joining us with all your dispatches and that good stuff. We'll work in some of those here momentarily. I do want to talk about something on the way out. And that is the most important thing on the planet. And that is this guy in Panama with the weird stuff in his house. I'll explain it. Hang on, I'll explain it for everybody else. Let me bring up his post. If you missed this is a guy who's definitely lying. It's definitely a hoax, but it's so entertaining. He said that a meteor landed in his backyard.
It was just a little, very polished rock.
Yeah, it was about the size of like a potato. It was like a little small potato-sized rock. And then he brought it inside and he put it in a container and it started to grow very fast. And it was like, whoa, this is an alien life form that has landed.
Did you guys watch Invasion on Apple TV? Like it's not alien with the big eyes. It's like, it's sticky but sharp and metallic black. And it's ripe for, I've never seen that before, but it's moving.
It's weird. He found something. He says it's an alien creature, and he's been chronicling this thing. And he deleted some stuff. He said a lot online afterwards. This guy in Panama has said that he asked the experts at the college to come over and take a look, but they hadn't. Here's the latest from him. Okay, this is
that's what I saw
yesterday. Is bigger.
Man.
Yeah. The alien mask is much larger now that's in this container he's watching.
And then it's the first time he opened up this container in a while, so he's getting sunlight, moving. Or it's getting sunlight.
Whatever this thing is grown from the size of a potato to a much larger, stringier, crazy-looking alien-like thing. Yeah. TikTok.com/KinPanama is the account where these are all coming from.
Okay, but show me the AI program that's making that. Not saying that this is real, but that's expensive software, is it not?
I don't think it's AI or
It could
software.
be using like practical effects.
Yeah.
Like what?
Look, he's touching it.
Oh.
freezer in the house. Is this his video making this noise?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, no, it's moving around. It's very weird. It is really weird. Again, this is up on the See It Now section of the News Junkie app if you want to take a look at the visual here. I want to believe. I want to believe.
I don't know if I want to believe it.
Somebody said it looks and behaves like graphene oxide. That's one of the theories I saw as well. But KINPANAMA on TikTok has been posting these maybe alien videos all week long. All right, that'll do it. That'll do all the things. How much time we have? We don't even have time for a final dispatch.
Oh. Play like 5 seconds of one, not the song.
I'll just play this instead. Here we go.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
Wiggle, butt.
So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
You know what I did see? I saw Aerosmith release some new song with that Youngblood guy, and I was like, I thought Aerosmith was done. I thought they called it quits.
They played at
Steven?
They played at the Emmys.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. But I thought that they said Steven Tyler's voice was toast, and they weren't actually going to be performing anymore. And now there's like stuff coming out from Aerosmith.
They're using Youngblood. Interesting.
All right. Today I Learned for a Friday, September 19th, 2025. Today I Learned this show right here.
Simpsons.
The Simpsons is correct. Duff Beer from The Simpsons, that's the beer in the Simpsons universe, was named after Duff McKagan, the bass guitarist of Guns N' Roses. Back in the late 80s, the show's creators asked him if they could use his nickname Duff for a fictional beer in a new animated series. And he's like, look, guys, I don't know who you are, but sure, have fun on your little show. Name a beer after me. He had no idea that that would become The Simpsons. I don't think he ever got any money out of this, but probably could have with as much as they made.
It's a free Duff beer or two.
Yeah, right. A man once got $500,000 in a lawsuit over a colonoscopy. Why? Under anesthesia, he accidentally recorded himself and captured audio of the medical staff mocking him. And today I learned this song right here. She-Bop. That's right. She-Bop is correct. Cyndi Lauper was nude when she recorded She-Bop. Either that, or it's just the 15th version of this kind of story where people tell you they recorded it naked in the studio. I don't know if I believe any of those. But here she is regardless. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back on Monday, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over on thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you on